Answer. Because you are that, you are capable. You are gifted, and you are soon to be opinionated. It's okay to be different, and it's so okay to just be. The world awaits to receive you.
I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long. I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. You know, live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't know.
Boys, I swear, I think I figured it out. You know why they don't want us redneck brothers and sisters and the hood brothers and sisters getting along? You know why? Because we be unstoppable. I'm telling you right now, we would shut shit down.
You already know what we will do, and we will shut shit down. Blessings, blessings, and sense to the Lightning Talk family. This is just an improv afternoon live. Blessings, H5, blessings. One, I want to say, excuse me to anyone in the audience if I don't see your comments. Sometimes I don't see them come through StreamYard, so I have to keep my phone with me. So shout out to you guys. I'm just gonna kick it today, get myself caught up since I have to watch what's going on in Harvey. And I saw some mess that was taking place yesterday. What was it, the public safety meeting? So we're gonna go into that, and then we're gonna go into their other meeting that took place the other day, the main board meeting. We just chill, kick back, talk about it, see what's going on. I know I'm supposed to go live and talk about this guy. You already know, but he's in the midst of this anyway. Y'all know what it is. I think at this point, y'all know it's a little tiresome, but we just still trying to just keep with it. But at this point, I want to do something that I like. So let's get to the meeting. Shout out to everybody in the audience. Thank you for being here. Shout out to your favorite survivor, Ms. Vivian Allen. Today we'll be using her clips. Her clips was very clear. So, shout out to her for continuing to go down there and recording and kicking butt. Right. So he in eighth grade. He about to start his eighth grade year this year. I'm not ready for it. I already got some things to say, but we just gonna kick it, talk a little bit. This one right here with the rainbow shirt, I'm just over her. Let's go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play it just a little faster so we could get through it.
You're gonna need the prayer.
My gracious Father, we thank you for this evening. We thank you that you stay with me here at the foundation of the world. We look to you for guidance and leadership on how to best serve the city and its people. And we thank you for all that are in attendance at this meeting. Father, we ask that you bless each and every household with your hand of favor upon each and every household that's represented here. And commit this meeting to you. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Oh, guys, that's not a beer. Just to let y'all know, I don't drink beer. This is a ginger beer. This is organic, non-alcoholic beverage. Just to let y'all know, when people see that, they're like, "Oh, that looks like a Bud Light."
What is the entirety or point of having a committee that works as an advisor ultimately to the legislators who are voting on resolutions and ordinances that affect your daily life. And so Mr. Key is the actual chairperson of the public safety committee, and I'm a member part of the public safety committee. We did, I want you to know, extend an invitation to both the fire chief as well as the general chief. We don't have an actual chief, we have interim chief, as I voted on that. But interim chief is both the extended invitation, hopefully maybe some voted them to show. But if not, tonight really serves as an open dialogue and conversation around public safety. We're aware that there was a mass shooting last week that traveled from the 6th ward over to the 4th ward and ended up outside with a young man who was unfortunately taken into gun violence as well as alcohol. And so today we really want to have a very open, and when I say open, please speak with full fidelity on how you feel regarding the status of the public safety. As I know it, I don't have a confirmation on this. We lost 15 auxiliary officers. What are auxiliary officers? If I could say it's plain terms, those are the do not hear. However, they have the same duty of service and protection across our city and have been supportive in a variety of capacities. The presence of a police officer sets the tone. It sets the tone for reform, it sets the tone for safety, and so us not having or missing that particular thing. My question, and this is the question provided to our interim chief, what and how do we govern ourselves in the best and most positive way, or what are things that we really need to do to prohibit gun violence in our community? As I stated on Monday, gun violence is rampant. It's like a disease, right? So it's not specific to our across the entire South End. We're having issues with gun violence. Nevertheless, there is something that we can do here as a community. One of the things I saw recently that was sent out on behalf of the mayor's office was the corralling of the precinct captains, block captains. And those are very essential measures to public safety. But I'd like to ask, I think just Harvey as a whole, I can't necessarily speak for everyone on your block, but every other house is just about dilapidated, right? The home that I stayed to, not one or two dead homes that we found in that home. We moved back at least 5 times, but it's still.
Oh wow, y'all heard that? I know it's kind of low, but not one but 2 dead bodies found in an abandoned home. Now that's some of the things we got to talk about.
Over to today, we want the main girl here on the picture. So in instances like that, and perhaps Mayor, you could best advise Mr. President, as well as Member Smith, Mr. President, or Alderman Smith, but perhaps give us some, even right, our Member Chief is here, to provide some context around what specifically we could do to eradicate the violence. We're seeing the demographic of young people between the ages of 15 upwards to 34.
All right, because we're doing playback. I'm just gonna have to say this. Alderwoman Smith, she's so disrespectful. You're gonna watch her. She's like literally in the background, just on her phone. What's her purpose? Because I kind of looked through it a little bit, and I heard she popped off a little bit. What is her purpose? And it's just really shameful to me. I'm just gonna be real since we kicking it. It's just shameful to me that she was involved in the incident that had to do with Ryan, or let's say her niece, and allegedly coming back and picking up the car. Nobody never forget. That's why we can't disregard the incident that happened with Jedediah, because it led to a whole bunch of other things that was revealed. And her character is definitely questioned at this point. I'm just I'm not even gonna say it yet, but I'm a little bit sick of seeing her because nothing was done. Hopefully it should be pulled into whatever how can I say, maybe audit or something be done with the police, because that situation was handled wrong. I'm sorry, that's what I see when I see her. So I just had to say that because I didn't get a chance to really speak on Miss Smith. But I am not happy at all with her. At all.
Who are ensued in violence in gun violence. So what do we do as a community? And this is a very open and candid conversation, as I mentioned. What do we do to re-end the violence in our community? Is it awareness? Is it knocking on the door of your neighbor? Is it marches? Is it more just community gatherings like back to school events, things of that sort, right? What is it that us as a community, right? I think he spoke about, Mr. Williams spoke about a collaborative approach. So strategically thinking about what collaborative efforts look like, strategically thinking about what public safety looks like. Public safety on Broadway to Lexington was different. And y'all agree with that? Yeah. And I'm only speaking regarding the second one. But if you could take maybe 10 minutes with your neighbor and determine or figure out or even announce the issues on your own block and things that you personally done to see to it that violence is decreasing and or what programs or initiatives. It's a very broad spectrum when we think about public safety. But just pinpoint is something you can do on your block. Is it boarding up dilapidated homes? What is the cure overall to violence in our city?
I don't know what the cure is. I don't know what the cure is, but I know that the home that I stay next to is abandoned, and over the last 20 years, I have spoken to the administration, everybody pretty much that's in this room, and lately for the last couple of weeks, I had a video and everything else. People jumping where we have boarded it up, they kicked it down, and now they dumping again in the back of the house at 153 Ashton, and one young man is coming over the fence where.
I'm sorry, but we don't have to make all of this.
Okay.
We're going to break it down. Most of this is generated from our residents who want to hear from you.
Okay.
So what we're going to try to do, we're going to try to show the navigation system and go through the outages and all the complaints and everything. And then we'll be able to sit through the whole situation and we all can pull together and get our city back like we supposed to. Because we got, a lot of this violence and everything. I hate to focus just on the violence. We have the squatters, we got illegal gun. There's a lot of things public safety. We have a whole wide range of things all about it. So with that being said, when we start on one subject, whatever it is, we're doing squatters, let's just all talk about issues with squatters. Then after that, we want to vacant properties and keep that subject. That way we want and everybody, because this is what you got. But I think it's just something like when it comes to
I'm not sure about that. I think that everybody didn't Miss Kobe just ask anybody had questions or concerns? Okay. I'm not trying to rag nobody. I'm just trying to figure out because she was about to tell us some stuff about the guy crawling out over the fence, her. I'm over here listening like, what happened? He like, wait. Come on, let us listen. I want to hear it. So I know it's a quick Q&A at the end. But I think they should have just let her finish talking.
So it's one issue because that's really just the city, but my understanding right here is that Illinois had enacted a new law, Senate Bill 1563, that streamlines the process for removing squatters from property. The law, which will take effect January 1st, 2026, allows law enforcement to remove squatters once the property proves their ownership, eliminating the need for the eviction process. So if anybody know about squatters, how long it takes, they have no rights to leave. They live, but it's illegal. He changed fast to remove. Okay, law enforcement can now remove squatters as soon as the property owner provides proof of ownership. Criminal trespassing. Squatters are now treated as criminal trespassing, allowing police to intervene more quickly. Elimination of legal standing. The new law effectively eliminates the legal standing for squatters in Illinois, meaning that they cannot claim legal rights to the property. This is a big thing. This is a big thing right here for Harvey to clean up all our vacant properties. I would suggest that we put signs on out on the vacant properties or possible squatters to put signs on them up. Effective January 1st. That's it. So we can enforce this and maybe, I don't know, maybe the police or the mayor can explain and so many months or maybe a quarter, we can eliminate the whole process of the squatters, but you can be able to call in. Because you call in for a squatter now, they can't do anything but put 9 hours. If they go to court, just say if they arrest somebody, they go to court. They take them to court, they go to court. If the owner don't show up, nobody can press charges. So they're free to go. Then they go from one house to another house and keep squatting around. But at least this is going to give us more control. I had a neighbor on my block. It took almost a year. And it took financial money for us.
Oh, yes, audience. I'm starting backwards because the drama happened first, y'all. Yes, I did. This part 2. We'll get back to the other meeting, but I wanted to watch that and then we'll get to it. I'm looking at the eviction, this article that's put out there by ABC7. It says Governor J.B. Pritzker has officially signed the Illinois squatter bill into law on Monday. This was July 21st, 2021. The law will make it easier for police to remove squatters from someone's home, bypass a possible months-long eviction process. Previously, squatters were allowed to stay at the property during the court process to get them out. The law differentiates squatters from tenants, making it easier for property owners to regain control of their home. The outdated eviction laws had treated squatters as the same as tenants, leaving property owners in limbo and trying a hands-on law enforcement approach. The law also established a clear distinction between lawful tenants and unlawful squatters, ensuring that property owners are no longer forced to navigate the long court process. Okay, I want to know how does it distinguish that? They have the bill here because ooh, it's a little that's a little touchy. You know why I know? Because as a homeowner, someone who owns properties, I have decided not to deal with that type of stuff as far as dealing with properties because you have dealing with tenant issues. I don't know what happened. Ah, somebody tried to mess up. I was just looking at the squatters law. Let me let this play a little bit, and I'm gonna look up the actual law to see how they distinguish. Okay, because if this is abstract, you're gonna have people like Jedediah going around doing crazy shit. Okay, let's just play this real quick while I look it up.
Get these people out of these houses. Now, if we try to do any type of work, demolitions, or any type of improvement, we can't do that if it's a squatter in the house. And squatters have their rights. Whoever came up with this law, and push this side, but I really appreciate this. If you want to look on up, all you got to do is look on New Illinois squatter law rights. And it'll show us, and this is going to be effective in January. But we need to get the process moving now to let people know that it's time for this to stop. There's a big opportunity, with all the squatting issues and vacant property stuff and everything to improve on it. So I'm gonna need y'all help. And when it comes to gun violence, everything that's going on is right around the sugar right here. I can speak truthfully, I'm a resident from Harvey. So a lot of these people that's out here, these young guys that are doing these things, we know a lot of these people. These are people that are grandchildren, kids, and then there's a lot of people that come from other areas and stuff. But people need to feel comfortable when they talk. When they talk about something and they go to police, can they be protected? They said this, and they turn over this film footage. Can they be protected? That's what we need our police officers. We want to be able to show that we are secure, being able to give information. Me personally, I would like to suggest that if I hear a complaint of something, I'm worried about something, I can call one line, and then they call the line, and don't tell them who I am at all. So we're going to protect somebody who's speaking on them. But like I said, once again, this is all about people that we know, that we grew up around, that we help raise, that help either contribute or allow other people to come in to our city. I want to now the ceasefire. I want y'all to get on up and speak in a minute. Who else we got here? All right, so we're going to have some people that's going to represent to show just what we can do. And these are the main things. It's like, what would you like to see? How can you feel? That's really important to be able to mention that. Or what reports, how we're going to follow up. Just start right off that January 1st, but I'd like to get this moving as soon as possible. Let's stop putting these signs on now, effective January 1st. We're going to leave it open. Go ahead. This is for y'all. Go ahead.
That's what I just want to say. And this is the question, since I submitted something. I got a question. If there's a sign that says no trespassing on an abandoned property and catches a squatter or a squatter, would they be considered a squatter or a trespasser? And could they be removed because they're trespassing?
Well, actually, it's both. In the law, it's going to say both. They can be charged with numerous different charges. I'll just let Chief Bennett elaborate on this effectively.
All right. First of all,
Now, this is a mess about to start, but before the mess starts, yeah, they can be charged with trespassing as well, depending on the situation. Misunderstanding with the title and deed. Okay, understand Illinois squatters' right. A person taking shelter. Okay, hold on one second. Reason for squatting. What is the difference between squatting and trespassing? What's the difference between, according to what this article says, it's from Tenant Cloud. It says squatting. This is in Illinois. Squatting, remember that the squatter lives on the property without permission is usually taking advantage of a vacant, foreclosed, or otherwise abandoned property. Squatters do not make rent payments. Trespassing is a criminal offense because the person who enters the property knows that they entered without permission. So that's how they're going to kind of like do them together, give them both charges. Holdover tenant. The last type of occupancy is a holdover tenant. This is where a person was a tenant on a property at some point, but the lease agreement ended, and the tenant should have moved out but did not. The tenant may remain on the property because they have unable to find another place to live, have frustrations with the landlord, or in cases like recession or pandemic. So it is a holdover law, but they have to be already been a tenant. But I'm just trying to figure out how do they determine that. I mean, because what was happening, like what they'll do, there's a few different incidents. Like one, the young kids was out here doing that. Like it happened in Decatur, nice big house, six bedroom house. They took it over. They was trapping, doing all types of stuff, selling guns, all types of stuff. So that's what he was talking about as far as the young people doing it. And that right there, they got ran down on and everything. Like it was ridiculous. It was a little scary, but it was good that the kids, they was like 19, 20. They had guard you nows, but they didn't use it. They went and hid in the closet. But them things that situation could get it wild for the police. Then the other situation is what I'm saying. Some people are smart. Out here, a lot of scams go, so they be getting that paperwork. They be getting paperwork, fake leases, check stubs, all types of stuff, and that's the stuff that actually hold up. So if they able to have that, I think that's when they actually have a stance. But most of the time, squatters are very different from those. What do they call them? If y'all know, let me know. It's like serial rent hoppers. They have people like that. It's a few stories where mama was doing that, and she wouldn't pay for every 3 months and then just do it again, do it again. So she wasn't a squatter. She was just a serial tenant hopper. Blessings, everyone in the chat, H5, Grave Secret, Walter White. Thank you for being here. We just chilling. Now, this when the mess is about to happen. I'm gonna look more in the law to see how they distinguish it because I couldn't find it here. But here go the mess. Now, y'all let me know who this is because he was a little extra. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, he shut Clark down. Watch this. He shut him down.
Well, you don't want this. You don't want this. And I'm going
I'll just let you finish and elaborate on this effectively.
First of all,
First one more you gotta be recognized.
well, you don't want this. You don't want this. And I'm an ad hoc member. I'm an ad hoc member.
What is an ad hoc member? Y'all ever heard of that? I'm learning new things out here. Harvey, let me know what the hell is an ad hoc member. I didn't think that in Dalton that I definitely Tiffany wasn't showing up for every board meeting when they were having their separate council meetings. But him, he gotta have control, know what's going on, what you say. So here he go, and my man with the red, like he was shut down my meeting. Battle of the testosterones right here. Let's watch it.
See how unfair it is. That's unfair. You can just go talk on my committee. That's all. Go ahead, sir. You better recognize.
First of all, the mayor's an ad hoc member of all committees. That's number one. Number two is I was trying to let you know, and I was waiting for a gap because your agenda actually did say 6 to 8. So I wanted to let you know that yes, you do have to 8 o'clock. As far as that. I didn't see that. That's what it said.
That's not what he was interrupting for. He stayed gaslighting. He wasn't interrupting to say that. He said, now that y'all can clap, y'all gonna clap for me.
Okay.
No, it's not.
So you don't want to get one of those. You like to answer as hard as possible.
Yes, I will. And I can still control my
Who's joining me?
Okay.
He's not interested. I'm still the CEO of the city. As far as the squatters' rights law, the squatters' law is concerned, it isn't as simple as one would make it out to believe. So I wanted to make sure that we got some clarity as far as that is concerned. If someone is alleged to have been squatting, the owner of the property still needs to come and claim the property. So residents can't just say that person is squatting or that other person is squatting. It's not that simple. The actual owner of the property has to proceed to request that the person be removed. If you're not that owner, then you still have those problems as far as squatting is concerned.
Okay, so y'all heard it here loud and clear, loud and clear. Mr. Jedediah Brown is not and in no time able to kick down nobody's door pretending that he is evicting squatters. I'm going to look up that law, but here he go. And he said it has to be the owner to verify the person is a squatter, okay, before they can just go and do their thing. All right, so it got to be a process. Go ahead, Clark. I'm gonna give you the flow because when your boy come around, he better not do what he did before. All right, y'all heard it here.
I just want to make that clear, and it's not just, we can just individually address with residents. Like I got some people down the street from my house, I can say they're squatting at any time.
Even if it's boarded up?
You're gonna have to have all questions. Now, Mayor, I have that question for, Chief, which you would like to hear from Chief, but I guess he's Chief too. So, however that is, nevertheless, we did get some answers. I mean, we just going on what this law is, and that's what we're here for, right? Yeah. To ask questions and get answers. So we don't have to get into no discussion or make it hard to explain to our residents. If he want to continue to speak, he can, but now we can just open it all up and see, what
No comment, y'all. Y'all know I want to say something, but I don't want nobody to be thinking I'm disparaging. But my man with the red, he doing a lot. And I don't like Clark talking, but I wanted to hear what he had to say because literally what he's saying is people can't come and just pull squatters out. No, y'all know I'm not with the squatting thing, definitely. But what we saw before, that's not supposed to happen. So he should actually be addressing. I can't even believe, just to talk about it, he never addressed none of the stuff that happened. Did he address it in a meeting that we're going to watch next, y'all? Because he has to come out and make a statement about Mr. Jedediah Brown. That's what I think should happen, really. Maybe the residents want to come with a letter, petition for him to, like you said, denounce. You know, we talk about the petition for the DOJ thing. Y'all need a petition for him to denounce this type of stuff or something to come out and make a statement. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what, let's stay on the question of squatters. Okay, so who has questions on information about squatters, and maybe that could be directed to the mayor, and we can keep it like that. Stay on the subject of squatters. Then we're gonna move on to another conversation.
I have a question in regards to squatters. Say you got a house in your neighborhood. You know the people that are living there don't own the house. They're having parties. They're using drugs. They're over there fighting. All kind of crazy stuff. All kind of crazy stuff is happening in the neighborhood. They're just become a crime factor. Period. So how does the law pertain to something like that, where they're violating other laws besides violating the squatters' laws? How do you handle that? Chief?
I think it'll get something to call the police department, let them know if there's drug activity or something along the lines of that, whatever it is. There's drug activity, noise, reach out to them so they can have an officer come by and they can see them and I can issue citations for that. It seems like you're actually, as if the squatters is actually doing that, or the people is outside of it.
No, squatters that are doing specifically.
It would be you call the police department, have them come over there, and again, like Mayor mentioned, it would have to be the owner of the property to actually get them evicted or removed. But if it's something that happens and it's criminal, and the officers come there and they find out that it is in fact criminal, then they can take action to their own as far as the process.
Now, is that the Illinois state statute?
I don't know the exact Illinois state statute.
Okay, well, that's what we're trying to find out.
Well, yeah,
We need to know what the Illinois state statute is. That's important, because if we don't have that information, then the picture's not clear exactly what you all are saying. You're just telling us something. You don't have the Illinois state statute. That's what we need.
But I think you can also go on the Illinois come out statute's website, they can result. You can also bring in the result. I'm not on top of my head right now. I'm not able to pull it up because I wasn't aware of this question. If you bring that to our attention, I'm more than welcome.
Look at that one. You know I got a little my little ADHD on. Look at her. She ain't even lift her eyes up one time. She over there watching Facebook. there for nothing.
Yeah, because it's got to be a little bit more serious than that. If they're doing stuff they ain't got no business doing, and they don't own the property, they're not supposed to be there, then I'm sure that the state of Illinois addresses something like that. Because we had a situation where on my block we had people like that.
Missouri, broke down.
Okay.
And so these are the reasons, and all I'm asking, since the mayor is here,
I'm gonna be honest, he did answer it. He did say you gotta go make a police report. Now I ain't saying that they're gonna follow up correctly. Obviously, you know, they got the catch and go. I gotta put that out there. Look at her. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what level to put her on, but I'm totally disgusted with her. So I think he answered that though. You do gotta call the police and make a police report. That's why I said paperwork documentation is what it is. Make that call, write a letter if you have to. You see what I'm saying? If you feel like somebody trapping, so much crazy stuff going on, because the neighbors is the one with that them young people that was there in Decatur in that nice big house, they all was called a popo. They was not playing. So they came down and they really investigated and saw what was happening, and they made it a just, even if it wasn't their house or not, they made it a drug investigation. So I will hope that Harvey is actually going to do their thing. But y'all already know we're gonna talk about it tomorrow. What we're gonna do to see if we can put some pressure on Harvey police to do the right thing. Do the right thing. Let's just watch this real quick.
and all I want, if I have been, head of the public safety committee, if these people ask these questions to me and they submit them to me, and I submit them to you guys, and you guys respond back to me, and I can get quickly on out, more people, since we're not allowed to speak to you unless, whatever it is. I don't want to get into all that. But we got, and I know somebody else has some more questions when it comes to squad issue. Anybody have anything on the squad issue?
I wish somebody could tell me who my man is with the red.
Okay, so we can move on to
I
the next.
have one question.
Hers wasn't answered.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
Oh, the question wasn't answered. Stand up.
Okay, so, Benny, what I was trying to understand is this. So, would that be that the squatters have rights if they have broken a law?
That's Miss Chappelle. Shout out to Miss Chappelle. I do apologize. In my last live, I was so tired I couldn't get your name out. You was like, "Stop, Jedediah." She was saying it from her chest. I know that's her. Yeah, so shout out to Miss Chappelle. That's her accent. Okay.
If they broken the law, how would it be that they have a right? You understand what I mean? That's just like if I break the law, I'm going to jail. So what made, you know what I mean? If they, like, for example, like I said, if it says no trespassing and they trespass, that's breaking the law. So would they be treated, would they still have the rights as a squatter? Or would they be treated, as a criminal?
Your determination is that they're breaking the law. Of course, I'm not making that decision, but the legislature has decided that once again, if the owner of the property can present information showing that they own the actual property and they want those people removed from their alleged squatters, trespass, unless no trespass, it doesn't matter, then the person will be removed. If there is not an owner who is saying that, remember, the owner has the right to no trespass sign, and the owner has the right to be able to say whether that person can or cannot be on the property. So just because you see a trespass sign does not necessarily mean that the owner even put it up. So it varies on a case-by-case basis, but the key is that the owner has to be present in order to get the squatter removed. Now, the squatter, the so-called squatter, is engaging in some other illicit activities. I mean, if the squatter is sitting on the front porch with a crack pipe, smoking illegal drugs, then of course the police officers have the authority under Illinois law to proceed to arrest.
Yo, he did some 80s shit. Excuse me. He said a crack pipe. Who you? I'm gonna have to give it to him right now. He is telling the truth. He said sitting on the porch smoking the crack pipe. That's something different. But the trespassing thing do have to be initiated by the person who owns the property, and that's why too. Like when police just run down on people and they're in places that say no trespassing and the owner didn't call or anything. Y'all saw those videos? They not supposed to do that. That shit is illegal because trespassing is supposed to be initiated most of the time by the homeowner But then if the cop know like this is just not the owner's home, and then they could prove it, then they can move forward. But I just wanted to kind of talk about that. But anyway, yeah, that was a little funny, Clark. That was funny.
That's that person. But that's not because they're a squatter. That's because they were using drugs. Yeah, because they were using illicit drugs.
That was my question. Would they be treated as a squatter? Would they have the right as a squatter, or would they be treated as a criminal?
Well, they would be arrested because they were engaged in illegal activities as far as drug resistance.
See, this is great. This is great. This is what we need. Answers, questions, everybody communicating, because even if it's a law, you still got to break it down. Now you got to worry about all the technicalities in between. That's what we need to know in advance. I was just saying, since this is not going to affect until January 1st, that we immediately start acting on this. So when January 1st comes, we got all these questions, all these answers, and our procedure. We're going to move in full force January 4th, getting squatters about it. Wait.
With what Mayor Clark said, the owner has to be present, but Harvey currently has over 4,000 abandoned properties without owners.
Yeah, so what?
So does that mean it's a free-for-all? I can move in any house that's abandoned I want, and there's no rules, no laws, and it's just a Wild West?
Yeah.
Because if the owner has to be present to trespass someone, but yet there's 4,000 abandoned, it means there's no owner. The Cook County website lists over 4,000 abandoned properties here in Harvey, so there's no owner to come and say, get off my
property. Yeah.
So then, as of January 1st,
there's 4,000
then
abandoned
what?
homes.
Does that mean that we don't need an owner anymore because it's abandoned?
That's a good question.
If there's no owner, then what? They can just.
We're not encouraging. So once again, there's certain things
So,
that you say that.
you know what it is? Because I'm watching this. Look, y'all. The people have to say, look, I want them trespass. If the people would just get the squatters removed and they come back, then it's kind of like it's going to be a longer process. I was just reading this. It says eviction process for property owners. It says, what if someone has already taken up the residence on your property, whether it was intentional or not? There are steps that you can take to regain your possession. So, like in that particular situation, if somebody had like paperwork and said I paid and show money orders and stuff, and they are still considered like a squatter to a certain extent, they will have to go through with this. This is what the owner has to do. Call the police. You need a good paper trail to start and call the police. It will allow you to get a report issued and give you the protection. So you got to keep calling call the police and the neighbors. And then it says serve an eviction notice. Serve the squatter with an eviction notice stating that the owner, you are asking them to leave the premises by a certain date to risk further legal action. So you still have to serve a squatter. That's why Miss Chappelle was really asking, what is the difference between a squatter and someone who is trespassing? So I think that trespassing, just for you guys who own this out there property, y'all gonna have to tell the police, like, I want to trespass them, like they for real. But if a person, like usually an owner is not gonna lie. You see, as far as them having somebody in there that they had some type of agreement, they wouldn't trespass because that would give them more liability. So that trespassing power is pretty good for the owners to have. So y'all have to do that together. Does that make sense? I think that's how it's going to work for y'all to get these squatters out fast. Don't just be like, get them out, and then they come right back. Get them out. No, I want them trespass. And then, that goes like that.
I'm actually adverse to our city. I wouldn't go around telling people that about years over 4,000 bad homes.
It's public
knowledge.
It's public knowledge.
But that's for them to find out, but I wouldn't advertise it. That's number one. Number two, as far as it's concerned, once again, that's a Cook County issue. Because Cook County is responsible for most of these properties being taxed legally, and most of these properties being in the position that they're in. Because if the city of Harvey can acquire the properties in a timely fashion, then we can actually get those properties back onto the tax roll, which is where they need to go.
I 100% agree with the mayor. And this is what we're here for, to ask questions and get answers. Instead of starting our own speculation on how things are going to be. Once again, we need to get this moving for January 1st. I like to see us sometime in October.
Oh my God.
We're going to get this spot and get you done. It's going to come.
Now, let me just let this play real quick while I look. Everybody, every time this guy, even I was watching Ryan video, shout out to Ryan. Ryan literally do like a 360 cam, like I like it because he catch anybody walking up in there. Ryan got him. Let's just let it play real quick while I look into my tax lien information again about Illinois. I told you that's why I want to talk about him last night. I'm not about to do this and always pop it up. Look at his face right there. Look at him looking at us and looking at his ass. God damn, mama, let's go. He like can't even hear the lady no more. Drowned out all the important stuff. Let's play. Hopefully she turned up a little bit. Let me see.
And you know, you brought up a good point. I don't know, like in the full board, this is one of my full board residents right there. But I have residents that have lived there since we was kids. And when they passed away, if they passed the property home to their grandkids or the kids and siblings, nobody takes care of the home. I have a resident, I come down there and cut the grass. And just to keep it looking nice, because it's right on the corner. They wait down there in Florida. He said, well, if I send the money for the grass, like, well, no, if you can, I get some work, now, help me on out. Carry it nice. But nevertheless, they still just leave the property right there in that situation. So as before I was an inspector, what we would do, we would simply, we would buy a property, and we saw a property, and the grass needs to be cut. Open windows, the house, whatever we would do. Take the picture, forward, cut the grass, send out a ticket to the owner. If they don't respond, wait till that month when they're supposed to be able to answer to it, send out another ticket again, and keep taking care of the property. Keep cutting down the weeds, keep helping out the maintenance and stuff. Once we do that and we build it up, I don't know what exactly the merit, you said whatever amount it is, once they get to a certain amount, we can take the before they put the lien and take that property. Once we can take that property, we can sell it to one person or people that's around the neighborhood. Me personally, if I'm a neighbor, if one of my neighbors is sitting right here, it's like I got the other, they got a vacant house on the side of it. If they go out there and they cut the grass, they keep it on up, they keep it maintained and make it look like it's looking livable. If they want to move their grandkids or their house getting too big or something like that, and that property is good, they should be the first ones to get it. If nobody else wants it, if everybody else wants to get it, then put it on out to the open market and sell it to somebody else. But we have to take it before and after this, so that we're doing more to this property and house and nuisance. And then we can go to the state and we can be able to demand, hey, we need money to either demolish this house or just take over this house and give it to the city. So we can work on giving taxes, you know what I mean, and work with somebody that wants to buy it and invest in it.
All right, I like everything he's saying, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. So I hope they actually say like, hey, this is the process, because this is what every county do, and every county can do. They can issue tickets and summons until it turns into a lien. They put a lien on your home. You wouldn't want a small lien to be able to take your whole property. So usually the person will pay it back. If they don't pay it back, then the county or the lien holder have the right to foreclose. And in this case, it's the county that will be the lien holder, the person who issued the ticket. Now, this is standard. So I'm trying to figure out why is this not happening. And it's the same thing that's standard in Dalton. So I'm trying to figure out why is this not happening and why so many properties are not maintained. Now, what I will say that I don't totally agree with is putting the people involved in this process, because legally, I know in the state of Illinois, they have laws pertaining to participation in the tax lien arena. Okay, not only the time frame, redemption, things like that, but who can participate. That's why it's illegal for public officials that have rights to the list and things like that for their family to actually buy properties. That happened out in Newark when Sharp James, what is his name? Yeah, Sharp James. Yeah, man, Sharp James. He was selling property to his family before it was going on the tax lien list. Now, sometimes that happened because, like me as a bidder, I can go to Clayton County in Georgia. I'm just giving you an example, and be like, hey, I see some properties here. Can I make a bid? Now, let's say the back taxes in Clayton County for this particular property is $6,000. If I make a bid for $8,000, the county's usually going to take it, and they won't continue it to be on the list. They do that a little earlier, maybe a week before the tax lien sale, and that's usually for people who invest a lot. So the county kind of do that, but it's not supposed to be family members. Neighbors can invest, but I know according to state law that it's not anyone who's supposed to get first dibs. That's why as residents, we supposed to be educated in this process and bang out and go get these properties. You see what I'm saying? Because they can't always make more processes to try to make it easier. And it is so. I just think that that's not a really how can I say good idea because I don't think it's legal. So the residents can I say if they want to come up with a statute like boom, if the residents next door is maintaining this person's property that's not responding, and they have an ordinance in Harvey or Dalton that allow the residents to submit a claim for reference for a refund. You see what I'm saying? For maintenance of city property or abandoned property, because I have to make ordinance, and then that will put that money's back into the county's. How can I say power to go lien to be a lien holder? Okay. So again, it can't be initiated by the resident. That's why I think the county is the problem with these homes being decapitated, being sitting there looking crazy. It's literally the county process. We have abandoned houses here too, but they maintain, you know, yeah, seriously. Not in Newark. Newark is something that's not. But then they do much better. They maintain around New York. They cut everything down. I never really saw a lot of abandoned properties with like overgrown grass. We do got grass in Jersey, but they're tore up. They turned to traps, but the outside wasn't like overgrown grass, things like that. So y'all have to have a better public works department. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about some more stuff too about this money and this tax stuff. Let's go.
It is a program out here about the abandoned, the property. No, I'm talking about in Harvey. Harvey has a program about the abandoned, the property that's not owned by nobody. They have a program to go and I think to what's going on, they won't have to get abandoned, to check the property. They have a program.
And so we taking care of people property, right?
Right. If you keep the property.
Well, that's what I'm saying. These are questions that need to be answered.
Yeah.
And
Okay, it's not out nobody owns that property. It's not out it's a program. It's a program, it's not out here. I do something like that.
now, is everybody familiar with what a scavenger list is?
I didn't know.
Okay, now they still have it. It comes out every so many, years. But what it is that if you purchase a property and you file taxes, they still have 2 years or more to fix up the property. They can win it to the very.
Well, they have 2 years or more. They have 2 years to actually pay the back taxes. So that's what I was looking for in my tax lien book, and I think I have pulled it out before for you guys. So the redemption time is 2 years in Illinois. So if you back tax 1 year, you have 2 years to pay. So you'll have packed on taxes, and then me or whoever like the investor could come in. I could do the first year, and then I'm supposed to be on point to get the second year. Usually, if the county is good, they will call it or get in contact with the first investor and say, hey, this thing is still outstanding. Do you want to invest before they actually put it back, the second one on the next tax roll? Does that make sense? So that's how it works there. So it's been sitting usually. So for the owner to redeem, they'll have to pay the 2 years back taxes and the fees and the fines. And then depending on what's the law for the investor, like for instance, with 2 years redemption, about a year and a half or 18 months to 20 months, sometimes some states would allow the investor to start fixing the home. So if that happens and you have to redeem, you'll have to reimburse the investor. You see what I'm saying? All of that. So it'd be hard for people to redeem. But also, I want to clear something up. There's no time that nobody owns the property. It's either in the bank hands, the homeowner hands, or the county hands. You see, it's no time. Now, some of the stuff, I don't know, this is supposed to be laid back, but y'all got me thinking, because y'all know I like real estate things. Now, what she was talking about, like, he was talking about, like, the person next door, things like that could help fix the property. And if they I mean, not fix it, maintain it, and kind of like, I don't know what he was saying, maybe use it. That sounded like a little bit like, what's it called? Ah, when you, it's not squatting. Basically, oh, it's right at the tip of my tongue. When somebody abandoned property so long, you can claim that property, but you have to do certain things. Now, I don't know law in Illinois, but sometimes people they get mail sent there, they do certain stuff. They get really advanced with the squatting, and then it becomes an abandoned property issue. You get a little advanced. So I don't know if he's telling the homeowners next door, like, start getting your mail sent there, and da da da, because there are legal proceedings that one can do to claim abandoned property, and also you sometimes where there's line issues with people property and you use the other person property. Sometimes it's, if that was used so long, like for instance, if I was using the driveway and I didn't know that it was related to this abandoned property and a property or whatever. Let's say somebody wanted to buy it. I can argue the fact that I've been using this driveway for 20 years and I have rights to it, even though it's not my driveway, that I can put a stake into it. So that type of stuff can happen. I'm kind of like going into it a little bit, teach y'all a little bit way how to work around the system. Let's go. I'm sorry I went down the deep end. I hope y'all got it. My geeky ass, but let's go.
Very last day. So if you already in there and you started spending your money, starting to rebuild stuff and stuff and everything, they can still come back and get the house, and you basically got to go to court and you probably lose your money because it's not technically yours. So this scavenger a waiting process.
This is a safety meeting, y'all.
She said this is a safety meeting. Yeah, I forgot. I thought this was a housing meeting. I got soup. I started talking about housing and shit, tax liens. Let's go. But I think this is a big safety issue, to keep it real. Like when you have a lot of abandoned houses and a lot of people who trapping and living that life, it attract more of that. You know what I'm saying? And it even attract a lot of bad characters. I'm gonna keep it honest, because out here we don't have a lot of abandoned property, but in my town, that's out the outskirts of Atlanta, it's a sex trafficking task force. hmm Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. And I was like, okay, I be seeing these abandoned properties. They look weird. Some of these old factories, like you'll see a light on, but nobody worked there. So, um, it's some issues. It is a safety issue. It brings all types of crooks and things. And this mostly falls on the elected officials in a process. I'm gonna be honest. It really does.
Correct. At this particular point in time, the Cook County Board of Commissioners would have to call for a scavenger sale because, from my understanding, because of some litigation that is currently taking place, they are not calling for a scavenger sale. Not how they're calling for no cash deals as well. So you say you put down, check it out yourself. Yeah, they're not doing it at this particular moment.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm barely reading.
Our hands are so tied on a lot of these issues because what would have been normal under any other circumstance, and it's just a matter of, I guess, of time. Under any other circumstance, what would have been normal is the city would have been able to, through the no cash bid process, and the scavenging process, start to acquire some of those properties. That doesn't exist. So because it doesn't exist, we're not allowed to take advantage of that program to be able to get those properties.
But doesn't Harvey have the program, or doesn't Harvey have the program that if you wanted to buy some of the property, if you own it, the program that you can enter into?
The tax reactivation program is what you're talking about. In the tax reactivation program, there's a property that is owned by the city. Because first it has to be already owned by the city. Then you can go on the process of trying to become an owner of that property yourself. Especially if that property is, say, for instance, next door to your home, like many of us have had a big lot next door to our home that we've been taking care of for years. That's a good way if it is owned by the city. If it is not owned by the city, then we run into more difficult properties. More difficult
I just gotta add this because it made me think about something Ryan said. Ryan had someone who wanted to buy some properties that the city owned. You sound real good when he talking. He sound good. I like it. I'm listening to the club, listening to them. But what that goes to say, there's people who actually experience biasness, not being able to have their investors buy the property that they wanted that was available. Ryan said that on plenty of occasions, so he makes it seem like if we own it, we ready to sell it, and all right, be blah blah blah. But we hear different in the action, so I just gotta highlight that because I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. He sounds really good, making some sense, but you're not actually abiding by the laws. You're not abiding by it. You're not.
See, now,
Allegedly, I would say allegedly because I don't have receipts on that. Ryan probably does, but I'm just gonna throw that out there.
we're moving in the direction that we need to because we're asking questions and we're getting answers. This young lady right there,
As you know, public safety takes on a variety of different concerns. Come on up, Ms. Green. Public safety looks like a wide array of things, not just specific to just gun violence. Public safety is also insurance, right? Ensuring that your home is insured. As you all see across the city of Harvey, we have a dozen plus, more than that are burned out. And I don't know to say if these privately owned businesses have insurance, commercial insurance or not, but that's where insurance steps in, right? It's a lot of insurance fraud also going on where people have left our community looking deserted because it's easy to do in our community. But we must prohibit that, and in doing such, if you're seeing something where it's not snitching, right? Because we're all dealing with not having equity. Your home values are down. And it's not because your house looks good on the block, but if the 3 doors over don't look good, then guess what? Your house doesn't either. So we have to all be very accountable. And as a part of that, we brought Ms. Angela Branch, Ms. Clay for bringing Ms. Branch out to give some just wisdom about insurance, why it's necessary to insure your home or business, and how that supports us here in the city of Harvey from a public safety standpoint.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit. Because it's good that they brought them out here to talk about it. But if you have a mortgage on your home, you gotta have insurance. They don't let you take a mortgage out without insurance. Most homeowners should have insurance because it's gonna protect you from any liability. But if there's properties and there was times, damn, some shit, some stuff going down in Harvey. That's weird because these things are supposed to be set process through administrative process, especially when it comes with banking and lending. How is it a high rate of insurance fraud? Those things are supposed to be checked, especially if people still have mortgage on their home. Now, if they own the home and there is just taxes to be paid, now I can see where there can be some lapse there because someone who owned the home, I don't have to. When I pay my taxes, like for my other property, I don't have to show them I have insurance policy because they paid off. That I can see a lapse on that. So you say if most homes in Harvey is paid off. Like I'm trying to figure out how did that loophole really happen? Because it's either the banks that's not checking right. It is either when you take it to the clerk and to get it recorded in the recorder's office, it's not their job to check legality. It is actually just to make sure that everything is formed properly, like a stamp, this, that, and third. And sometimes those stamps even be wrong. So I think this is a system error. We have a whole lot of people who give referrals to the same type of people, you see what I'm saying? And they getting away with some stuff. It's no way. So that's why I'm about to fast forward this insurance lady, no disrespect. I can't even see how insurance fraud is a big problem. I know the car thing, but houses? I don't know. Y'all tell me.
My name is Angela Branch, and I work for Carrie Insurance, which is very important. But I've been in the industry for 23 years. I work for State Farm for 23, so I know a little bit about insurance. And as an older individual, it is a public safety not to have insurance. Because if something, your house is burned down to the ground, would you be able to rebuild that home? Yes, sir. No. A lot of times, if you've seen the rates have been going up for insurance, And sometimes we just don't know enough about insurance, so don't be properly insured, overinsured, underinsured. So that's why I'm giving, I'm gonna pass out my card. People don't have insurance, I'd love to talk to you, sit down and explain and educate you about insurance. If you have insurance, I'd like to look at it. If you part, I'd look at your debt agency, what you have. Because sometimes we have things that we don't even know, we don't need. The government are really high, and you're not aware that I had one person come to me with a really low premium, but they're got for $10,000 to spend on. So man, you can play and then realize, wow, I'm not going to get my house is clean. So the other thing, life, you have to be very careful about universal life. They can be good, but you have to fund them.
I would have been faster for a long time.
Information and realize that a lot of these vacant properties that we have are due to people, homeowners that are losing their lives and didn't have property insurance things. Left house, nobody wants to take care of them. They're sitting there. It takes years to get it for the city to try to do it. Meanwhile, come from this spot, you just open the door for a lot of things. So always just remember this: every vacant property you see is not owned by the city. You know, if we can get a better percentage of it, you will see it's probably less than half. But the majority of them are, you know, it's like, I don't know what to call it, they're strange, whatever, you know, these houses, they're basically just sitting here. A lot of these houses, and a lot of these properties. So when you sit at home with your family, discuss these issues about if anything happening, what's going to happen to this property, who's going to take care of it. Well, that's either hit or there, but nevertheless, when it comes to reporting concerns, but I want everybody to see, anybody can just grab their cell phone, because we have a navigation system now, which is good, because you can never argue with paperwork. You don't want to be able to call and say, well, I talked to this person about this issue and nobody did it. Who would you talk to? Well, I didn't get their name.
I like
or
that.
Nobody ever responded. Or responding through this navigation system is going to put you out a reference. And it's going to show when you put in a complaint what you complained about for. And then once you get that issue, if you're not received, I don't know if it's 3 to 5 days, then you can contact the city hall or you can contact the alderman. The alderman can say, hey, well, one of my residents put in this complaint, he can go, nobody can help respond. And that way we can be able to help everybody. Y'all know this, if anybody can put up their phone, just for example, you know, www.cityharveyil.gov. Can anybody just pull that on up?
Everybody, I think, go around, you get the city of Harvey.
You pull that on up, when you get to the main page, you click up on the top. Pull it on up, pull it on the top, because you can talk over there and say, I want to. And then it's going to be a drop-down process with a variety of things on the phone. If you want to report a concern. Now, also, you can go down to the departments. You know, speaking in reference to the fire department, you can go down to departments and type of fire department. Now, if you don't have smoke detector in your home, you can sign on up through there online, and it'll be free for them to come and put a smoke detector in your home. You just sign up and go through the thing, go to the fire department, go to the website, or you can call the fire department directly and get your smoke detectors in your place. Fire extinguishers have to be checked. Commercial businesses, they have to be checked.
Oh my God. Okay. I was looking right there on Harvey website real quick to try to find out what he was talking about, that complaint thing. I'm gonna look it up. But I said, oh my God, do you heard him? Do you heard him? I had to speak in non-English. Do you heard him? As a homeowner, this sickens me. They have to get their fire extinguishers checked yearly. And what I'm hearing is that this is not only Harvey, but one process that I heard is that they have to bring it to a location, and the location, I don't know if they look at it, shake it up, take a picture, weigh it. They literally put a new sticker on it, and the person has to pay for that service to get their fire extinguishers checked. I know as a homeowner, we're supposed to deal with safety, but these are some of the taxes and things that I think is unnecessary and ridiculous. If you have a resource for a person to have to do that during out the week, you may want to have someone who do inspections. You may want to put them in another department. You may want to put them in public works, because that's stupid. That's stupid. I do believe like it should be requirements, like boom, the fire extinguisher can't be expired. You know, it have to have a sticker on it as far as, because they have an expired date on it. But don't the inspectors go around and inspect buildings every couple of years or something like that? And that's when they should check the fire extinguishers and then get them the little shooby-dooby fee. But that's just right there. I just have to tell y'all what they go through out there. So this is some of the things that they implement that's really not needed, and the things that they need to implement is not. For example, i.e. this putting liens on people's houses in a timely manner. Now, I will say this to the residents. What he said was important. When you see these abandoned houses, you can't just say, oh, the city owns all of them, because there is a 2-year process. And then it becomes a 2.5 year, maybe 3, if the person starts communicating with the county. Like it could be right before the 2 years, and I could be the owner that's back tax and say, "Hey, I want to get on the payment plan. And let me do this," and then I got the right to do that, negotiate, and then I could shuck and jive for a couple of months or a year, and that property still look like that. So it could be some situations as far as why property's been staying there so abandoned. It's not only just the government process; it could be some other things. So I did want to highlight that. But thank you for being here, guys. This is a chill broadcast. Y'all know I'm gonna keep my eyes on Harvey, not just the mess. I think the mess gonna be coming up soon because we're getting to the end. I think so, right? Shit, this broke out. Did something happen? Let's go. Something happened with little Daryl. Was it? Yeah. And Ryan, let's watch it.
From the place, and you see an old tag, report that. You know, because that's a hazard right there. You don't see that tag, you don't see other things. But when you're in your home, you don't have to. If you have a regular fire extinguisher in your home, if you still see it and it's still in the green, even if it's been a year or two, it's still good. If it's not in the green, that means it's not going to work.
See how it's a year two for the houses and then once a year for people who own buildings. That's not right. I don't like that. I'm sorry, y'all. I get on my nerves.
I don't know if y'all knew that or not. We also offer an opportunity for CPR classes for seniors and regular people. It's always good to know for CPR. You know, if y'all want to invest in that, you know, or look into that. So you look on the website, you go there and see that when it comes to report concern, whether it's in the trees, grass, anything, police department complaints, employee information, all this stuff. You find everything through the website. And just let your local alderman know that, hey, well, I requested this, I haven't received it, and then you can come on out and try to help you on out with better. And just try to enforce and say, I got this place that has received the information, you know, back. And then we don't have to go about nobody ever call. Because when you call somebody, you can talk to anybody. You don't get their name, the date, the time to call. Anybody can say anything. I know y'all can run around with that. You can't argue with that.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see that thing.
Could you repeat the question? We cannot hear. What was the question?
No, you gotta ask him too.
I said, what part of this?
I heard you, someone else wanted to hear you in the audience.
The man back there.
It's hard to hear with the fan.
Not back here, they talking, somebody talking, y'all back here talking, and clapping your hands. I don't say nothing.
Let me answer. I got your question. Yes, sir, sure did. So first of all, as far as the properties that the city owns, those properties are on the list, are online. You can go to the city website and you can see a list of all the properties that are city owned. The city fortunately is not in the real estate business. So we don't go about the business of trying to redo our homes and sell our homes, things of that nature. And even if we did at this particular point in time, since this administration took office, we didn't have the funds to do that anyway. That's why I keep talking about $164 billion worth of debt that we took, because it doesn't allow us to do all of those additional things. But we do make those homes available to developers and investors, and we have several investors and developers who have taken advantage of fixing up some of those properties. I think one of the things that gets lost is that when say for example, a property is being rehabbed or even property is being demolished, because we have so many of them, sometimes it's like trying to find a dewdrop in the middle of the ocean. You never recognize that it's actually being done when it is, because we have, like I said, developers and investors who are at this particular moment rehabilitating properties that are owned by the city of Harvey. So that's basically how you can access those properties, and that's how we deal with the properties as far as.
Wait. Oh my God. I know y'all gonna want to see the argument, but look at this shit. I don't want to invest in Harvey. It's a headache. The fuck? Look at this. Watch this. This is a headache. All right, boom. If you want to invest in Harvey, here you go. So this is the city properties. Y'all see this right here on the screen? Look at this. I never saw nothing like this a day in my damn life. Now they have city-owned properties and judicial deeds. Now I'm trying to figure out what is the difference. Maybe Alyssa tell me, because I know what a deed is. I wonder, maybe the properties owned by the city got taken another way. Maybe in it I don't know. I'm gonna look. Oh my God. properties for rehab, city-owned property for rehab, new construction, and side yards. Hold on. And it says property city-owned. Hold on one second. Okay, let me just look at this before, because I'm getting distracted. What? Look at this. This is the issue. We're gonna look at what is city-owned property versus a judicial deed, because it says something at the top of those papers. But this the process. This is why it's a little hard, because if you're investing, I never heard a county did this. I swear I've been a tax lien investor for 6 years, 8 years. This is ridiculous, and I wouldn't do this. This sounds like some Florida nonsense. So you have to send a letter of intent. Applicants submit interest in property located, a brief plan to utilize the property. The site is reviewed within the context of existing city plans, committees, and redevelopment objectives. That is a lot of red tape just right there, just a letter. The second thing is proof of concept funding. So I do understand when you're investing in tax lien, some counties or deeds, they make sure that before you actually participate, you have to show bank statements or have a plan and budget, and then show proof that you'll be able to pay for it. Okay, all right, we could do that. Settlement statement. Staff prepares a settlement detailing the type of transaction, proposed plan, including costs. Estimate of real estate transaction. The transaction costs to applicant may include appraisal, environmental report, if required, plat survey, title insurance, legal fees, administrative fees. That's a lot right there. First and foremost, just it stressed me out, because as a tax lien investor, from there, when it comes to this, what they're requiring, we don't need to get a plat survey to get the title in our hand. We don't need to have title insurance, because it's not a true transaction with a bank or a lender. Okay. What is going on here? Legal fees is not usually a lot. I mean, what do you need a lawyer for when you're just doing a simple transfer and recorder's fee? Now, this is for property that's already abandoned, y'all. This is not one that's attached to a mortgage or anything. I'm so glad I'm well versed in this, because this right here, that's why it's hard for Harvey to sell properties. These steps, purchase transfer agreement. Let's go with that. What is that? Upon acceptance of term application, applicant is asked to sign a purchase contract or redevelopment agreement awaiting approval from city. Now, y'all have to imagine what the heck is this redevelopment agreement. This is why it's hard for Harvey to sell shit. It is. So maybe if, like you said, you have a plan, and I think this is probably something that Hassan went through. Oh, he probably did all of this to say he had a plan to do the oil company, to bring that, the oil refinement company. Remember, and when he didn't do it, this set a bad relationship. It's because of this. So that's why Hassan probably was in court, because he may have signed and said, yeah, I'm going to do this right here. And when that oil refinery company didn't do well in the other state, he couldn't transfer it over, and he wanted to do something else. This is what caused the issue. Oh, don't worry, we still gonna read the Hassan lawsuit. It was a little dry, so I was like, wait, I want to do something that's not so dry, so we may do it later on, okay? But now it's making sense of why it was a scuffle or issue with Hassan in the city. Look at this. So you're controlling what the person is doing, no flexibility. Because me as an investor, maybe I don't want to do that. As long as I'm zoned for what I need to do in this commercial, you shouldn't tell me what I can and cannot do. Meaning, like, okay, some zone be like, you can't have a liquor store within 2 blocks of a school. These type of things, like, that's fine. But this, then the city approval, knowing that it's red tape and biasness, this probably kind of helped prove what Ryan was saying. It makes more sense. Approval of the final transaction will be required by either the city council or city administration, depending on the nature of the type of the transaction, commercial or industrial zone property. That's understandable, especially with industrial. Commercial shouldn't be that bad. It shouldn't be that complicated, because y'all already should have zone where things cannot be and could be. Like, for instance, some cities know is a dry city. It's zoned not to have any liquor. Does that make sense? multi-units, residential properties. This is already zoned unless the person want to bring that with the in their proposal, and they say, "Hey, I want to do a multi-family house here," and it's usually like one family houses. Then they'll start to probably and it's zoned for one family houses. That makes sense when it's that type of proposal for a big proposal. But if it's just one damn house, like me, I was investing in one or two tax liens. Like, damn, if I had to do all of this, I'm like, no, I ain't doing it. It's a headache. It's like doing a conventional loan. Real estate is sale closing. The agreement are signed, escrow payment is made, and prior to closing, the final balance to be paid by the applicant and transactions is recorded. So my thing is, how much are you selling these property, these government owned properties? Because I hope you ain't trying to sell them at fair market value, because they're not worth fair market value. And I'm gonna look into the law. Maybe we're gonna do a little bit because the law sometimes prohibits states to sell foreclosure homes, D homes for a percentage of the fair market value. They just don't let them. Like if the fair market value, I teach people who invest in Ds. If the fair market value for the home is $240,000 and the law only allowed them to sell it for up to 20% of the fair market value with whatever fee, you know that you can't go above that bidding, or they can't go above that. And you don't want to go into bidding wars to get it that high, especially if it's a deed for sale. Does that make sense? This is ridiculous. Okay. It's a little hard. I can see why it's hard to invest in a Harvey. Let me try to figure out what is the difference between these. And they want people to invest. Come on now. I know if I can't handle this, Jedediah slow ass won't be able to handle this. I'm gonna just shut up. Your ass won't be able to. And I'm a real verse investor. I'm like, heck no. So look, the list of city-owned properties. They're properties for rehab, new construction, and side yard. That's not good. I'm sorry. I don't like it. All right. I don't like it because city-owned properties, I guess they have to go through that long process. And the next one is redeveloped properties eligible for judicial sale. So this may be rehab. Let me go look at that. What is the difference? And it's as a tax lien investor, I have to literally look at the law in each state to see what the difference. Because sometimes they'll have judicial sheriff sale. Like in Macon, they have something called the tax lien sale because they have tax liens here, and they have a judicial sheriff sale. And I'll be like, what is the difference? But what it is that some of those properties they've been sitting for so long that the city already renovated it. I'm sorry, can't come out right. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Rehabbed it, and then they'll start the bidding off like $3,000, and then they'll have a stipulation like increments of 1,000 because they've been rehabbed. So I'm not sure if that's that. Let me take this off the screen so I won't be confused. But I'm just trying to figure out what's the difference. But these first set of stipulations are ridiculous. Now this is a little different. It's a redevelopment properties eligible for judicial deeds based on a vacant structure, unsafe conditions, 2-year due taxes. So this is the basic tax sale. I want to know what's the difference because this sounds like just the basic one. They got some shit with this. We're gonna have to do a whole lot. This sounds like some Tiffany real estate shit. Okay, y'all. Y'all know I had to go off the deep end, but it's good. We're doing our little deep dive. We almost done. We're going to get to the mess. Let's see what Jedediah did. His ass. And look at her, Talani Smith didn't even lift her damn eyes up not one damn time talking about addicted to the phone. Shit, open your eyes. Literally. Just a body there, not adding no contribution. A public safety meeting. You know she had to put her head down in shame. That's the look of shame. Like, I ain't gonna look up, because I supposed to have been locked up. Talking about public safety. Let me shut the hell up for somebody say something. Only for a second, though. Let's play it. He's cringy. Again, guys, if I don't see y'all comment and I can't put it on the screen, it's because the stream y'all won't let me. So I'll just say it. But I agree. I agree. I agree. But Clark was saying some things that was true, but he just don't abide by the shit. When he was talking about the squatter laws, Jedediah can't run up in there doing none of that shit, Peggy. And the squatter and the and if you wasn't here for that, but the trespass and the squatter laws have to be initiated by the owner. You see what I'm saying? So again, he said that with emphasis. That's why I listen to his ass. But then you got Jetta Llama in that motherfucker not being addressed for what he did. Shout out to Mr. LC to you. Yeah, I see you there. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
How much Adelaide? Well, first of all, you have to contact this economic development director. And before we, any properties that are transferred by the city of Harvey to anyone is voted on by city council. So the city council has to.
We just went over that long shit. It's more than that. It's way more than that. We just went. Thank God we went over that.
Vote and transfer that property. I don't have any legal right to just go ahead and transfer the properties on my own as a mayor. We have to bring them before the city, and then the city has to vote to allow the transfer of the property.
Who is on the city council, y'all? Let me know.
Criteria is used by the board to make that determination.
Oh, I got two.
No, I'm sorry.
And we gotta respect those things. We gotta respect the people talking. If somebody's not clearly finished, there's no need of, going, all that stuff. Just respect it. Just wait your turn. What is y'all here for? So if it says sufficient, you want to come back, you go. Yeah, you see some very good questions. We can just go,
Oh, okay. My question, sorry, I think I was the one cutting you off because I didn't hear you. So my question is, what criteria does the council use to determine if we're going to grant someone the opportunity to grant a current resident the opportunity to buy a home? And if there's no other person bidding for that home, why would you automatically grant it?
She tried to say, if there's nobody else bidding for that home, why would you be giving me all the red tape that Grace Levi just read? Because that shit is ridiculous. Go ahead, ma'am. That's a great question.
Automatically bring once again because it has to go by the city council, and it's just a law. It has to go through the city. It's not something.
It's not a law. It's a process that they have. He's lying right there.
Not made up. It's just that it's the law that the city council is going to transfer property properly. Because we've seen properties transfer prior to this administration, and people are making claims that they don't have a right to. And we've had to, as a result, fight several legal battles because of that, because property was improperly transferred. But as far as the proper transfer of property.
He's lying. I'm sorry. What is he talking about? I'm confused. Transfer the property? And he had to fight legal battles. What is going on here? And the only way that they have to do that is because they did something not right with the tax lien process, meaning putting notifications, notifying the homeowner, the time frame. If they have to do a general judicial process, usually people who go through the foreclosure process is not judicial because y'all have like a warranty deed. But with them, they usually have to go through some short judicial process, make the court aware that this is happening. They stamp it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not sure where did the mistake come from that you will have to be going to court. I even said when property is transferred, it's not even a clerk's responsibility to verify ownership. It's really not. It's sad, and they shouldn't make it like that. But they're just there to make sure that the secrecy of that document is correct. So if they have liabilities because of transfer of property, it's literally because of something that the administration did or did not do. That's how I was able to sue a county and win. I never told y'all that. On my other platform, my tax lien platform, I say it all the time. I sue, um, it's not Carolina because I deal with Carolina County right now. It's Prince George, Carolina County. It's one county. I have the paperwork. It's in Maryland, one of the first tax liens. And I end up winning because their process, their administrative process. So they settled with me because when they transferred the tax lien to me after it's been sitting, they did not transfer the document properly. And that dealt with contracts and things like that. So I was able to fight on those terms, and them bitches settled. So that's the only reason why y'all will have lawsuits. I'm just keeping it real. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't know.
First, when you go on, if you go on the website and you check out the list of properties, there's also the listing of the criteria. It's a step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 7, what you need to do. And at the end of the day, the council still has the requirement as well as this administration to follow the law. So if we have a viable buyer who is coming to viably purchase a piece of property in our city, from my perspective, but like I said, it would be dependent on the council and what information that they have or want to see. Why wouldn't we want to sell that and get back to tax law?
I just want to add to that there's an application process. It costs $25 to. There are 84 listed properties on the website that the city owns. 8 pages long. And if you go to the city department's website, the top 3 button or lines in the top right hand corner, you too can access that list of those 84 properties. Lake that city owns. And right after we do there's a button click for judicial. That's a new one, so I have to further research to see what exactly that entails.
See, you heard her? Kobe, like, that's a new one. I got to see what that entails. That's the basic one. That's the judicial process. That's with the 2 years, and y'all have a tax lien sale every year. That's so he created another process with the county owned homes. Okay. The first one is actually the legal process for what every county in Illinois have to do to move forward to obtain a home. The second one, and we showing you that requires this shit. It's hard to own properties from Harvey that they own. This is what you have to do. This is too much. It is too much. So yeah, she even confused, but that's what it is, Kobe. One is the tax lien sale the regular way, and one is the one that they actually made up that process. And counties have the right to do that because they want to liquidate the property as much as possible. So the property is condemned, and they saying like, okay, you don't have a lot of investors in your area. We're going to fix these up, and then we're going to make it a sheriff's judicial sale. He just whatever they name, they can name them different things. So what Clark or what a Harvey did, they called it city-owned properties for sale. Does that make sense? And they got to do all this bullshit. Yeah, I'm never going to sell these properties. This is terrible. We almost done.
Are currently on the road, and I'm assuming that an application would be used almost as a blueprint. It identifies who you are, what you do, where you live, why you want to apply for property in the city of Harvey. The $25 is not refundable. And I'm not certain as to the measure of when you get reach that, but that is the process. You go downstairs to the basement and collect the application, put it in for one of those 84 commercial, residential, or vacant lots. It was
monitoring.
I just have a question now. My other stuff. I'm gonna put that in.
Oh wait, this is
If there's a
look at this guy. Let's pause this before the farmer come in here causing trouble. You already see him here, non-resident, got nothing to do with it. Let me just show y'all the last part, which is why people won't want to have nothing to do with it. Damn, I done skipped it. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. Nobody's doing this. Y'all think somebody gonna want to be dealing with Clark after they got their property and paying for it? Like, you ain't the mortgage company. The city monitors the project per the terms of the agreement, the developer's schedule, and validates projects additions, extensions, or completion. So you can tell somebody when they're not completed. This is not good. Y'all had to change all that. Kobe, you're gonna have to fight. Y'all had to change all that. That's not gonna work. That sound like he literally pulled a Henyard. Y'all remember the Henyard buyback plan, block the block? It was shit like that. We went over it where they were trying to monitor the investors afterwards for 2 years, and could sell. They couldn't sell all this shit. They have major power struggle issues going on here. Major. Look at him. When he turned back. What's going on? Looking back there at that llama, about to start some shit.
Do you all try to find out? And what do you do to the owners of those homes? Have they been ticketed? Have they been notified? And what's being done to, make them clean up the properties or take care of the properties? Because I haven't seen anything change next to the house next to me. And I haven't inquired about it, so I'm just wondering what's being done. Are they ticketed or a lien put against them? Because I'm quite sure you all have a lien to be put against them. I know I can put a lien against them. So what's being done?
Okay, well, it all depends. It varies from home to home, situation to situation. I would say that's an all of the above approach, because there are some that we can handle one way, but others we have to handle another way. So that's the majority of the homes I can attest to are what are called zombie homes, which is basically zombie. Which basically in that particular case, and I've spoken on, I talked about this issue before. Grandma passed away 25, 30 years ago. One of the kids took over the house, but he never went through probate. So the house was never legally theirs. Okay. And as long as they pay the water bill, water stay home, so they have a problem as far as that was concerned. If the parent moves away, say for instance in California, and children take over the house, mind you, he still hasn't gone through any probate. Okay, and then at that particular point in time, something happens. I don't know what type of event, but they are no longer at the home. Now the city is trying to find out, and now of course the house is in disrepair. The city is trying to find out who owns the home. But the actual homeowner, deceased 30, 35 years ago. So until we can, either get the courts to make a decision for us, and mind you, all of these things are legal processes, and all of these things take money. Okay. So we just can't walk in court and say, hey, we got an abandoned house on the street, on 153rd Mansion. Y'all need to do something about that. We have to, it has to go into a legal procedure. We have to notify all parties, including the one that is deceased, or at least their heirs, who have an interest in that as well. So there's a lot of other processes that we can take.
I get that part.
Yes.
But what is actually being done? I get the part where you said that it's a legal process. Is there a process in place that's being taken place? Because this home has been abandoned 20 years. So I have spoken to you and I have spoken to several others. I have given the names of where it changed over from the owner to the bank to everything else. And so I want to know.
So he held his face for that one, because when the bank owned it, you supposed to be on their ass.
How long does the process take before it gets started for any of the houses that may be in the city of Harvey? When does the process begin to take place? Has any of the processes taken place for any of the abandoned homes that's been here that no longer has an owner or a bank owned? Are there being liens, or are they being fined? So that was my question.
That's why I'm saying all of the above. Okay. We try to attempt all of the above.
Okay.
So tickets, trying to establish liens if possible. We have used some other processes under the law in order to be able to fast track demolitions on some homes.
Yes, you do. You see, he admitted it's a fast track process that counties have. They're supposed to be going especially if they have one whole year to prepare for the process. You see what I'm saying? They'll have the continuous running list of who owned what, and then present it to the courts like, hey, we have to move forward on all of this. He makes it very complicated when it's really not. And they do have to inform the person, as far as even if the person is deceased, they look into the person who is their heir, and they have to go that route. But you have people who are well versed in this. I want to send a shout out to everybody in the audience. I want to say I do apologize if I don't put your comment up there, because StreamYard don't allow, I don't know, some comments come. Shout out to you, Javar. Midwest Dragon, you got a new name. Shout out to Bella Marie. I'm not reading all the comments. I hope you guys is being positive. Now, this what I noticed. This was your favorite survivor. Shout out to Vivian Allen. And she didn't get the mess. I was like, what the hell? Why is it like 50 some minutes? Where the mess about to come? So let's get to the mess. Here you go. It's a little bit the quality is not the best, but I have to give Ryan his respect and shout out because we wouldn't even be able to see it. This is shit though. What ended up happening, it'd be like half of the video, especially with them that on Harvey, they put up the only the stuff they want people to see. So let's see what's going on here and watch the rest. I know. Let's see what's going on.
And I'm just telling you, this shouldn't be happening.
I fast like comment.
It doesn't make sense. The other things are.
On the attorneys to get these others out.
You know what? That is a great idea. Anybody know what that is? It's like they do it like toll roads. You got tickets, they say your fee was this, or you got tickets in the city. They say you got an opportunity.
Fast forward a little bit. You know what I will say? I have to say it because Vivian said it. She was like, "This is a public safety meeting." It is. All they talked about was the squatters, but then it was a shootout out there. I think they should have emphasized that a little bit more, the shooting. And then it was someone else that got shot a couple of weeks ago that he did his little fake press conference, right? So I do think that it should have been expanded more, the topic, than just this, because this is literally like a housing meeting. But yeah, we'll keep it playing. Guys, thank you for being here. We're gonna play this real quick. And I think I'm gonna step away from the screen because I need to eat. I had cooked before I went live. I made some jerk turkey, like turkey breast. I will tell you what I cooked. And some white rice and some burns. So I may be chopping it up right quick. We're gonna finish, watch this, keep an eye on Harvey and have this conversation. Talk about some of the stuff they don't want us to talk about. And this llama about to come up. So let's play this real quick.
That's better than getting some money, better than getting no money. So that's a great idea, man. What she's bringing on up, going to get opportunity for people to pay these bills. Once they get to a certain amount, people be like, they can't pay it. But if you just get an amnesty, like the price of the residence, not the interest, coming on up. Then we get a lot of these fees, and get some money instead of no money. Some people gonna run and tell the long as they can until you get there before they pay for that. I must have $80 or $60 total fee and never paid it. They went up to 25, like 100, and the speed like ticket you get 100, and like that, they go up to 150 and 200, and you're like, oh man, you got to wait till you get 3 or 5, which I just don't figure out to be helpful. Whatever we all done, the amnesty will help you get some money to become covered. So, who's next?
So I have two things I want to talk about. The first one is the property. I feel like you're saying how we have one identity property. But for those of you that are here and you own your property, the one thing that you can do is you can do a total transfer at that. So if you have children and you own property, what you can do is go to the clerk or you can put yourself 347 downtown Harvey. If you go to the clerk, 1.41 cents. And you can say that I help you with it. So if you have a property and you have children, there's a form that you can fill out. It's called a transfer at deficit. You can put the names of the individual that you want to have their property in the event that you pass away. And then you file it downtown. Once you file that form, when God forbid, whenever God calls you home, they take that form that they have down to downtown Chicago, along with your death certificate. Then they have to do an acceptance. Once they do an acceptance, now that property is in their hands. That's better than a will, and that's better than a trust. Because with a trust, you don't file anyway. Go to the attorney to pay all the money for trust. They give you it in writing. If you lose that trust and something happens to the attorney's database, you have nothing, right? So the best thing to do is do a transfer at that. If you want more information, I can help you with that. My resource center is 15341 Action. I have paperwork, I'm notary. You can do that if you go downtown. Sometimes they'll have a sale, what they call, and you can pay $59 to file it. Or I think the highest is like $109 to do that. So that's number one. Number two, I'm gonna go back to say. So because my store is on 154, I see.
I wonder who this lady is. Y'all know who she is? Because not a lot of people want to sit next to this man. I just want to know who she is.
2 cars all the time that travel up and down 154th Street. One of them is a urban Another one is a gray Armada, and this man had a black Armada last year. I used to see him parking all up and down 154. And one day I walked up to his car. I said, hey, what you doing? I've seen you here for the last week. This was last year. This man told me, oh, I'm here investigating some things in mine. Right? Right down to this day, this same man rides up and down the street. I had a gentleman tell me that he saw this man approaching a 15-year-old girl. And he told the man.
Who are you talking about? You talking about that? What's she talking about? Jedediah? Who else came to Harvey to investigate? What is going on here? Y'all heard this? Listen.
Put that young girl in your car, you're going to have some problems. Now, I'm not quite sure what the police can do about that, but I do know if we were in an affluent neighborhood and we had these cars that roll up and down the street all day long, we know that they're not here doing anything good. And I'm talking to a couple of police officers, and I've let them know that I'm taking the license plate and I'm giving it to them. My fear is we have kids walking up and down the street all day long, going to one side. And young girls, right? My fear is one day these men are going to catch these young girls and something is going to happen to them. Because I see it all day long. I sit outside my store and I watch because we have kids walking up and down the street. So I watch the kids. I want to make sure that they get to the store and at least they get out of my sight so they don't have anything happening to them while I'm there. So I'm not quite sure, Chief Dennis, what can be done. But 154th and Center Street, these men troll that block all day long. All day long. All day long. And it's one older gentleman that parks his car at the bank. You see? And he watches these young girls. This man, I promise you, this man got to be at least 8 years old. And it's a BMW. He sits in his BMW all day long. And then the burgundy car, and then this gray Armada. Those big cars, they sit on the street, they run up and down the block. They make circles all day long, and I watch it all day long.
She better start taking some pictures of them. Does that sound like some ex-trafficking nonsense going on around there? I already told y'all that there's been a lot of missing black kids, and we not paying attention to it. It's a lot of missing black kids coming up. And then it's so weird because she was like, the guy talking about, I'm investigating. And he go around there just driving around and staying around. That's weird. That's bad. That's really bad. She needs to start taking pictures and giving it to the cops. And then if they don't respond, she needs to report the cops to ISP so they can do a proper investigation. There's too many police or enough police or some police that I think, because they utilize a good amount of police to respond to the Jedediah stuff. You know what I'm saying? Escort his ass around. They should have these people posted up in some of these troublesome spots. So I'm glad that the meeting went on to actually start about some other public safety stuff. Shout out to Ryan, because I was like, where the rest of the stuff? Here we go. Let's listen to her.
So talk about safety. That's a huge safety issue. Because like she said, we have women walking up and down the street half naked, in which some of them I bring it to my store and I call them for free. Because that's what I'm there to do. I'm here to serve the public. So I give them clothes. I let them come in and wash up in my bathroom, which is super small. But that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve. So I'm just saying, if there's something that we can do, and let me say this though, because please do troll 154. I have to get it to you guys. I've seen police officers, they come to my store to make sure we're okay. They've done a lot. I talked to Patterson, and he let me know, like in the summertime, you guys were doing the walk-in. They were going from business to business. I watched them on the bus, and I see them come to me. I see them go to one side. So I want to say thank you to you guys, because when you're there, and you're out there, you don't see the people hanging out on the streets, and I watch you guys, right? When they're crowded over that corner, and you guys come and you make the move. So I want to say thank you, because that makes me feel safe. That makes my customers feel safe, because we don't have people just hanging out. So I want to say thank you guys, because I watch you guys and I see how you guys are making a difference on that block. So thank you.
I'm not really opposed to any kids coming in, getting nachos, candy, stuff like that and everything. Like, it's that type of environment. It's, you know, we should, if it's a liquor store just for adults, don't bring the kids in the stores. You know, good kids come in the liquor store and I'm looking out the
Thank you, Lovey. So I just want to let everybody know, if you have an opportunity.
I'm sorry to talk to you like this. I would have thought it would have rendered a little bit better, but we're gonna listen. We gotta listen, y'all. Gotta listen to this.
On our Facebook page and as well as our YouTube page. On May 21st of this year, we posted, which means happened some of it within the 24 hours. We posted a meeting that we had that was open to the public with Cook County Clerk's Office, where they discussed the property, and it was called the Property After Death Forum, where they talked about the TODs, the transfer on death forum, and things of that nature. Now, that happened on May 21st, 2024. So it's something that the city is aware of and addressing, as well as working with our Cook County partners to do so. If you were not able to make that event, then it is on the City of Harvey YouTube page. The date is May 21st, 2025. And it's an hour and 36 minutes. So they're giving plenty of information. Also, as far as the sex workers are concerned, the City of Harvey is in a very unique situation as far as our work with sex workers. So we understand that, first of all, many of the sex workers that we see, and we don't see as many as we used to, okay? But the ones that are still out there are issues that impact them. Some of them is mental issues, some of them is drug issues. But what we try to do and what we have is diversion and deflection that we use with them. But once again, I'm gonna let the chief speak, because as far as us dealing with the Johns, if you go on our YouTube page for July the 9th, 2025, you will see where the City of Harvey conducted a sting. I'm gonna let him go ahead.
So in July, we conducted a sting on 154th Street at the junction, Patterson, and a couple of organizations. We went out there and we engaged in some of the jobs. Look on our Facebook page, people were arrested. We posted plus it, because we're trying to be proactive in our efforts to try to mitigate that type of stuff happen. We have another operation that will happen in the near future, so we can make sure we're not just locking up the jobs, but we also want to get these young women that are out for help. Like you mentioned, this is not just a law enforcement approach where you just incarcerate. This is an issue where it's plaguing them, where it's mental health. We're trying to have an organization that we call TASK, Treatment Alternatives for Safe Communities, that come out. They try to provide assistance to these young women. And it's, of course, voluntarily. We can't force them into this. But we no longer have the different mental health hospitals like Tony Park and others where we can take them to. If they're going live and going to Eagles, we push them out in an hour or two because they're going to have a lot of people come in. So that's not making excuses, but we're trying to find different and better ways to make sure we're open to people. And we do know it, we do see it, that's why I need it. You see my team out there on 154th and 7th, I believe you and I spoke earlier this week at one time. So we are actively trying to figure out ways, but I think more forums, and again, like I said on Monday, community effort. This takes all of us to be able to figure this thing out. It's not just chief Giddings and our police department we're going to do a lot. Give us ideas, give us suggestions, and we'll try to figure this thing out collectively. Okay? Thank you.
That's great. So now we don't let the guy have to speak.
I'm sorry, I gotta interrupt 1 second. Hey y'all like my plate? It's dinner time. Y'all gotta cook. Gotta eat healthy. But also that TOD, he brought this up, transfer on death certificate. I don't know if they're gonna try to make that mandated, but it is not mandated. That's just basically something that I can use to protect myself and say when I pass away, it's gonna automatically go to my heirs, but it becomes the liability of my heirs. So I don't know if he's trying to consider that as part of the process, add that to another layer of paperwork. But that's the TOD. That's what I was looking up, y'all. So I just had to stop real quick.
So one of my favorite quotes is one of my favorite quotes is groups without relationships breed for them. And it's at the public safety meeting. One of the things I often found helpful with dealing with public safety is to be able to have resources. But as I was trying to track in the last meeting, Harvey is operating as the third worst city as it relates to its collection rate with the county. With literally right after Robbins, which is known as the poorest suburb in the county. With 12,904 taxable properties, it's only at a 52% collection rate. And I know that that's not a city enforcement issue, but what I'm saying is that people are not paying into the tax base for the resources to be here to address the issues, and then they're raising taxes around the whole Southland. So the ones who are paying.
Shut the fuck up. I wish I had that. Like, yo, I had to just say it. Shut the fuck up. Now, y'all know I ain't cursed this whole time, but I'm going to just say this. First and foremost, are you the tax collector, Jedediah? Are you the tax person? Who are you to come in here talking about, oh, the first thing is safety. We got to talk about resources. Why are you worried about other people's money when you're supposed to be clocking your own damn money, paying your taxes? Because obviously 4 consecutive nonprofit organizations, you have not filed taxes, okay? We just waiting for them to call you. So this gets on my nerve because you're literally being a henchman for the narrative that Clark has been pushing. Pay your taxes, pay your taxes. I was waiting for this because this motherfucker get on my nerves. For real. How you gonna tell people to pay your taxes when you just admit that the taxes is going up every year? I didn't give you a chance to say that Illinois had one of the highest tax brackets in the United States, along with highest corruption scale in the United States, next to Washington right now because they got Trump in there. But I'm gonna shut the hell up. Yeah. And now all of that corruption that was under the Kellogg's brothers, and that's who they were. Were they the Kellogg's brothers? Just tell me who they were. And then his administration, and this thing's further back. Because Harvey, I heard that I said this was happening into the 89, 90s, which it really started hitting the fan. So we got to go further back. So the corruption, the ghost pay that allegedly Clark was going after, we're going to have to talk about that. All of that corruption, now you don't pay like you owe. People keep paying like you fucking owe. I wish a motherfucker would. Me being a taxpayer, excuse me, I'm coming. Oh, God. Y'all see what bothers me, right? It's not just Jedediah. It's literally his talking point. This right here, is Jedediah and you talking about taxes. Somebody pay their taxes to people who don't do nothing for us. I'm paying the feds for what? So you can have wars? I'm paying the state for what? Now I could pay my city because sometimes they pick up garbage here because y'all know about unruled places. They don't do some services and their taxes is really low. The ones that not unruled, they're unincorporated lands. I even know how to invest in there. I'll treat you about that. But this motherfucker got me mad. I let me eat my food before it get cold. Let me let this motherfucker. I just had to go off. The motherfucker who don't pay their taxes, who don't own property. Do you own property? I'm saying that allegedly right now because I wasn't able to pull up his report, but you don't even own fucking property. You're going to tell us as homeowners and property owners what we have to pay in the biggest inflation market that we have ever seen in the last 3 decades with the same damn pay rate, $15. $15 not even enough. Instead, most states didn't get to that. I'm going off a little bit. I'm a little mad. It's not just about him. It's about the whole situation as a taxpayer. And I'll be damned if somebody be telling me pay my motherfucking taxes to these people who don't do nothing for me. Go ahead. Stop going off, girl.
They're frustrated. But then the ones who are not, they're not helping solve the problem. So the question that I have to the city, to all the people into the city, is why is Harvey, with such a huge tax base, which you all should be making around $57.7 million in revenue, only getting $30 million. Why is this not going to spend? What is the solution? Because you have a lot of businesses in Harvey that's not paying taxes. So that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, I can't wait. Now we gonna write this down, take a picture, because Amir, you get all the clips. Y'all write this down, take a picture. Because this man is trying to get property in Harvey. He'll start his INA. And you're gonna be considered you're gonna be considered a commercial business. You're gonna have a high rate of tax, and your dumb ass gonna be sitting there not being able to pay the tax, and you're gonna be looking just like motherfucking Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar Jr. right here, literally running the play for as long as Dr. Umar with nothing to show. And then he's going to blame it on other people for their situation. Watch. If he ever acquire anything in Harvey, watch this going to end up Clark going to be on that motherfucker telling Jedi, pay your taxes. Watch. Go ahead. Let his ass sit there like he said something. Shut the... I'm sorry, y'all. He just disturbed me.
Greetings to everybody. Good evening. My name is Michelle Baker. I'm outreach supervisor for Rhodes Ceasefire. What we do is very simple. We try to offer services to people who've been affected by gun violence, mainly if they were shot or if they are gun users, gun carriers, and trying to turn a different lead. You see us in the neighborhood, 9 times out of 10, we're trying to inform the people about events that are going on, or the deputy as a shooting happened to do it. And we try to go door to door, try to at least alert the people in the area that something's going on. A lot of times people a couple doors down don't know what's going on in their neighborhood. The young lady asked a question earlier, what is the answer to gun violence? And the answer is nobody has the answer. So all we do is we try to put a message of positivity out there. We try to have a presence in the streets, and we try to be seen. And I think that one shooter sees us and says, you know what, I'm not trying to do that, they're not doing something. So that's what we do. We just try to make a difference, whether it's small or big, and that's what we do.
That's exactly what me and Amir was talking about, the layer effect of activism, where you find an issue and you crush it like a real issue that affects the people, not the government. I'm gonna make this motherfucker go profit. I'm making him pay his taxes. He is starting a coalition, like a neighborhood watch. He's reaching out to people, telling them who they are, introducing you. See me riding around. I'm trying to stop this. I got kids in school, whatever. That's what I'm talking about. The layers of activism. Shout out to this guy with the orange.
Because this is two of the big resources that we got.
My name is James Hicks. I'm with Activist Inc. Activist Inc. is a violence prevention organization. We look at violence through a public health lens. One of the ways in which we attempt to tackle the violence in different troubled areas throughout Chicago and now in the suburbs, we attempt to establish a relationship with those individuals who are at risk in those at-risk areas in the neighborhood. When I mean by at risk, we mean those individuals who are involved in the violence, right? Those individuals who are quote-unquote gangbanging, those individuals who like to shoot, those individuals who like to fight. We try to establish a relationship with these individuals, right? And attempt to create a paradigm shift with those individuals, to educate them with regard to violence and provide them with different resources that we have. We provide them with medical. We have a hospital response team in which cater to those individuals who are victims of violence.
That's good. They have that out here where, like, after the person gets shot, the gang person, they go to the hospital, meet them there. They send a call you to talk to them about their life. Like, that is good. And they Harvey should team up with an organization like this, and not just let it be free. I like this organization, but when people come to your town with this type of stuff, I think it is good for the government to talk, or the people to know who and what, so they won't take advantage. You see what I'm saying? When you have outside people doing outside stuff, and then they come out, we dealing with the kids and shit. Well, you know what I'm talking about. I gotta be safety Susie. I love what he's saying though, because we have that in Atlanta, and I have heard some young Black people, stories of how their life really changed, and the nurse was part of the team. They'll make the hospital representative part of the team, like the nurse, a doctor, a clergy person, and a person from that task force. And they'll come in. I don't know if this is the same one. They'll come in and talk to the person after they survived some crazy surgery from being shot up and stuff like that. So this is great.
Extra opportunities, we provide job opportunities. One of the things also that we do, we try to have those individuals we call peacekeepers or participants, right? We have them go into the neighborhoods and communicate with other individuals who are involved in violence, other individuals who are involved in gang activity and stuff like that there. We attempted, when we moved here in Harvey, because we have 9 sites throughout Chicago, the south side of Chicago, we targeted what we consider to be one of the most troubled areas, the area in which this young lady was speaking about. We set our office right there on 153rd and Page.
I'm sorry, I like this. This is a well thought out plan. That's what I'm talking about. That's activism at its heightened, where, I mean, you don't even have to have a building. Do you hear the structure of his plan, or the different levels of how they actually combating the team violence? Do you see what I'm saying? And then the peacemakers, to have people out there being a peacemaker, that's a very hard job. We had peacemakers in Newark, honestly, and they was the Muslim brothers. We had to use the Muslim brothers because it was a sort of like line of respect that the hood dudes have for the Muslim brothers somehow. And the ones who wanted to be part of the Stop Violence movement, they will go and be the peacekeepers, especially if they knew people in the area where they could like harness those conversations. So this is good if you have good people running it. You see what I'm saying?
Like prostitution used to be back in the day, so we wanted to be right there to try to help the neighbors, to help the members or the members in that area with dealing with that type of stuff. So just to make long story short, so our office is on 153rd Page, 15308, right? And we also have a number of different types of activities.
for the young, for the youth in Harvey. Thank you.
And that's great. You know what else he could do right after this? See, that's when you do your activism correctly. And he set up organizations and activities, and he funded them whatever way he could. Then he could make a proposal to Harvey, make a proposal to the local police station, and a proposal to the local schools to get partnerships with them, where he can go and do, seminars, take the kids on trips, and just partner with it, and also grants, because there was a grant out here for violence prevention, and Fannie Willis actually used it and squandered it for the wrong shit. But they have grants for that, so you guys can actually petition for that too. So shout out to whoever this guy is, if y'all know who he is. Again, shout out to everybody in the audience. Thank you for being here with me. Y'all know I love Harvey. We're gonna break this down, make it make sense, and just be a little distracted, just a little bit. And I saw your comment, Javar. I'm not sure if that's the truth. You said, I'm not sure. I'm not saying you lying, but we'll keep that in mind. You said the lady sitting next to Jedalama, maybe you said, I believe that's the lady who attacked Ryan. The voice sounds so familiar. I don't know. Do you think that's Telane's niece? Because them just don't need to be, neither one of them need to be at the meeting. All on the head. Because they violated. They ain't bring that up. I think Ryan brought it up though. Niece is really bigger. I don't think that's her. Telani Smith's niece, I think, is bigger.
One of the problems I had, he started out when he was first doing police class. I think he was 20. He had class. All he was one class with me. He was in it, or he was in the class. And my father me there, why did it stop? He thought, like, we did. And the system had to have some kind of relationship. He thought, if you don't have a relationship, you go out and ask for questions. When the shooting happened, he down the street from my house. And also, when I come out of my house, he said, you guys camera. He said, like, get the footage. Although I come to City Hall, I was angry and all that, I didn't answer because I had issues about that. But my problem is this. You don't have to do anything with police except that you have 15 or 16 officers. And then on my block, my lady down the cross street from me had 17 minutes to get to her house before anybody showed up. And this was not only gone, they had closed the door and left. Nobody called. Her car was broken.
Well, I think he's talking about and nobody showing up when they need help.
$1,000 off the street from me. And now she's moving because she doesn't see
this video, and I'm gonna see, can I get it?
So one of my favorite quotes is
no. When anybody showed up and they were not only gone, they had closed the door and left. Nobody called. Her car was broken into. She bought a house. All right, let's call this
Reverend B. I think it start turning up when he's talking.
I appreciate you all coming out because of consistently supporting families. Here's why I'm here. I'm here because of the fact the virus impacts our communities, impacts Chicago, impacts here, so we can't just use the zip code and say, oh, it's their problem, we're not involved. I'm here to serve and help you all at Chicago. I also want to say here, when it comes to, I heard a question about some things working in. What can you do about the problem? I'm an advocate for the streets. Meaning, I take those streets. I go on the streets, and all the streets, they see a vision. I don't wait for the police because here's the thing I believe. We don't wait for police, we police ourselves. And when we police ourselves, we go on those streets and let them see you. Standing up for your community and standing up for those who belong. So I'm advocating to put forward a peace march, walking the streets, and heard what she said that they knew about this problem. That's a service. That's a service. I want to go right in front of the area and walk down the street in front of where the boxes are coming to show them this is the right answer. I don't even believe we are the police. And the only ones who will take care of us is us.
I'm not waiting in there because this problem been so how long, but I heard the other day with the press conference, they're not gonna do anything for you. They're not gonna do anything for you. And they want to do something for you. They would put these people in place. That's the sheriff department, or whoever department is involved, they're not what it's about. But until someone is murdered, for them to have to leave. Think about it. Think about it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Think just like I'm. And I think the director took the sheet away. I was listening on the media. I think that's the media. Take the sheet away. They don't want the voices to be heard. They don't want you to have the outrage. They don't want to see your voices. So I say, again, we got to do this. We got to take these streets. We got to be one to stand in front of those name bandits and give them an alternative. If you have a problem, there's a way how we address that problem, and we sit down and negotiate and figure out what we need to resolution. Because these children are murdered. Our organization, I founded on Save Our Children. Right now, Save Our Children, the solely of our children are in the ground. We didn't have these children. We didn't have these children to be put in the ground before us. We have these children to be a legacy to our families. So I'm here to do something about this. I'm here to do something about this because I was out there in Woodward with National out there. I was out in Highland. I was everywhere. When it comes to this violence, I stood for a man like Wood.
Okay. Fast forward just a little bit.
Ken Box. Everybody wants to talk to no way. Talk about this problem. So we got to be out here. I want to connect with the organizations. I want to have meetings. I want to talk about how we can get this under control. We're not going to have another 40-year-old shot in this city. We're not going to have another grandmother in South Chicago shot and laid down in the middle of the street. We're not going to have our mother going to the grocery store. We got to do something about this.
Yep. Okay, this is what it is. All right. So what I'm seeing that Reverend B role as an activist, because we got a lot of different activists there, and that's why I will hope that people they know their role, they know what they're about to do. I don't know what the hell Jedediah doing. He a tax man. But I think, like he said, protest is good, but it has to be calculated protest. Like, for instance, I don't remember the parent's name, but Amir had a guest on his show, and it was about the young boy who was 19 who got unalived, and the mother, he worked with the mother. But what I heard that was significant was that their protest was synchronized. It was shutting down certain blocks, certain areas, transport locations at certain areas, causing the county or the city money. That is important when it comes to protest, synchronized protest. Now, it's funny because back in the day earlier, I heard Jedediah say something about that. I'm going to stop calling him Jedediah, but I heard Jedediah mention, doing that, making sure that it's impactful to protest, but he, that didn't happen. I remember that, and then to listen to what Amir had said, because these are some of the concepts that the streetwalkers are. I'm gonna call them streetwalkers, like the ones who ready to take to the street, like ready to bring the crowds. We yelling, we screaming, but it has to be synchronized. Does that make sense? Like if a place get deliveries at this time, y'all shutting it down. This is the high time where they make money. Y'all all out there every week at the same time. So I think that will be his role. I just want to throw that out there as far as layered activism and protest. But yeah, we'll keep it moving. All right.
I told things. We do talk about research. So if you have a solution, you have an answer to this problem, and it's spread our cities and other cities, including the city of Chicago, I'll say this on behalf of our police department. We wouldn't work with it. Our police department understands we have an answer. We're here because we're trying to find a solution.
You sat down at press conference and you knew about that gun violence the whole time. You sat there on that press conference and said you knew about that moment.
We're not here fighting.
See?
You knew about it.
The protests come in.
And then you need to resign, sir. Okay, you need to step down.
Do the right things at the right time and get the people riled up, and then the person who be in the background doing the paperwork initiate him fucking losing his job. You see what I'm saying? It's all part of the activist process. That's why we all got to work together. That's why I got turned up just a little bit.
You step down. You have that baby shot down like that, and you know about it, do nothing about it.
Man, you need to step down as well too.
Absolutely.
I'll pass it to politicians. I call it what it is. Those children shot murder, man.
Should have followed up with a question to ask about those murders and say, okay, so since these two things happened, how are you investigating? Are you making any leeway? Are you connecting with my brother over here who's on the streets talking to people? That's when I think the conversation should have went another way, but that's just my opinion. Y'all know my ass. I'm corny. We're gonna utilize our time properly. I'm like, fuck it. He here talking now. Let me see what you really doing. That's kind of what I think he should have said, but whatever. Wait, right here, I can't see the video. So what happened? Who is Kobe arguing with? The police or who? I wish somebody could tell me what happened. I'm gonna look at Ryan video, see if he explained how this kind of like. Talani Smith came in talking shit. I think that's why we can't see her too much because of the quality. Hold on one second. Talani looked like she came in here talking shit when she shouldn't even be saying anything. She's a dirty dog, and I said it. I'm not saying allegedly. For you to be out there again with Jedediah and his crew, his nonsense, and your niece attack Ryan, and then you think you can come back and yell to my don't record me. Like, bitch, please. You were supposed to be home in your bed with your flip flops. You out here with the thugs, and now you up here talking shit. Sorry, I definitely wasn't feeling this person. Let me put it on screen. This is who I definitely wasn't feeling, and I did not trust from the rip. Miss Shirley, but you done hit the top of the fucking list, and that's not because you go after Kobe all the time, because I saw that from the beginning. Shots fired, but literally your ass crooked as hell. It ain't about Kobe, it ain't about nothing. She crooked as shit, and she need to get out. Just like this Aris. Y'all remember we went over his case. Horrendous. We read it, and it was horrendous what he did to that lady who was actually his ex-wife, family member. This one, I just gotta get a little sidetracked. Literally, I think they're gonna talk about the commissioner. Y'all have a commissioner, tax commissioner, whoever that y'all pay $20,000. Who the fuck fault is that? Obviously, y'all had some bankruptcy, some levy that y'all have to have somebody play a trustee for the county that already has someone collecting the check. So now y'all mad because y'all have to pay $20,000, probably based on state law, because it's a requirement, because your book's so fucked up and cooked. It's cooked. Cooked. I learned that from my nephew in Jersey. He's like, "Yeah, auntie, I'm cooked." I'm like, you got a girlfriend? Nah, I'm cooked. I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, yeah, because the books is cooked and you're not doing your job. These people, let me just call them out. I have to. Stop it. So that's her that kind of run her fucking mouth. They got Kobe coming saying something.
Attention, everyone. Let's hold on. Let's stop all this. All woman to Lady Smith. Just have respect. Okay.
What made her lift her little froggy head up and even say anything? We literally watched her for almost 2 hours with her fucking phone like this. Her eyes, you can't see it. And what made her come out of her I was what they call it, her cocoon?
Can we just give you this 6:46? Can we give you 3-4 minutes for you to talk in strength? It's only fair and I only respect you last day. So you have 4 minutes.
No.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
What you guys said, because it's best to be heard.
It takes a village takes that. Saying we all know about that. We all think that's why it's all on Facebook. The police already said this is an ongoing issue.
I'm sleeping, y'all, while she's talking. I'm gonna just take a nap.
This has been retaliation for who knows how long.
That's something that they can say.
I'm laughing because I can't listen to her. I'm being fictitious. She ain't say shit. She ain't saying shit. I'm not listening. I can't. I'm just move forward.
And thankful for his mighty grit to still come back and serve the residents of Harvey. But we've yet today not learned how much money we've collected in the revenue department. For the past 2 meetings, you all paid $20,000 a month to the comptroller, Louis Williams. Yet still, for the past 2 meetings, where the departmental reports were to be given, unfortunately.
See how we're supposed to be here talking about public safety and then it went into this is because the conversation went to the left because Talani Smith started gaslighting. Here you go, setting Kobe off. Like, do you know I know the fact? $20,000 to the comptroller. Do you know they owe me money? I know been submitting. Hold on, I just want to say this. The other day, a few meetings ago, they were talking about like one of the aldermen was like they get $25,000 for each one of their areas, and he don't have access to it, yada yada. And then you had Missy come up there capping, talking about well, the process is you're supposed to submit your for refunds. First and foremost, everybody don't have money to buy things for fucking counties. That's not like you buying a damn uniform for work and you get your money back. You talking about when you want me to buy garbage cans and then wait to fuck y'all reimburse me for my area? So I don't know what Kobe did, but obviously Kobe been asking for her fucking reimbursements and it has not been happening. I'm surprised she didn't bring that back up, but I just wanted to clarify that because I'm like, okay, why didn't they reimburse Kobe her money? And when this lady talking about the process is y'all trifling as hell and y'all not got Kobe started. Because once y'all talk about money, here she go, like, there she go, set it off.
That bill on this man. That's the second thing. So who's W and W? Who's W and W there? But I'm talking, so that's what it is. So who's W and W consultant? Right. How much did we pay him last time?
You get $3,000.
My point is that he's getting paid $20,000 on any given day. Ain't nobody else getting paid $20,000.
A lot of money.
We just talked about that. You're answering Mr. Brown's question. That had nothing to do with public safety. But then you said it was public safety. So which one? Okay. So the other.
He's like, yeah, you want to answer Mr. Brown question about the taxes, but you ain't going to answer mine. So, you see what I'm saying? The gaslighting for me. That's why we know that this dude, Jedediah, is under the guise of Harvey Mayer. And that's why we're reporting it. We're reporting the alleged corruption. Yep. We're going to put timestamps and everything where you see the biasness, the police taking up for him. Yep. Bitch, I'm petty. Told him. Yep.
The other portion is, I stated, excuse me, I'm talking about everything. Okay? So with that in mind, we have a settlement agreement on this. Okay? The settlement agreement came just 1 week after we put up 05-102-160 that says that if you do owe back property taxes, you are not eligible to operate a business. And guess what? I agree with that. I stand on that. Because if you're not paying your taxes here, you don't need to be here. But that's the law. We cannot bend the law, create a settlement agreement, say you can pay $2,500 a month, that's $30,000 a year, that's the highest. You can pay $12,000 before last year, December 31, 2024, and then another $12,000. Or you can pay $20,000 later. So what's most people gonna do? That's a payday loan, if I know. Right or wrong. So where is that money being allocated? Let me tell you, Shad's Wiggers, over on Dixie Highway, one business I know for a fact paying $2,500. Straight down Dixie, as well as the insurance, right? So with that in mind, how much money have they paid towards the settlement agreement that they're paying $2,500 into $30,000 a year? Where has that money gone? Where has the money gone? So with that in mind,
Bitch need to be locked up. I'm glad this clear right here. She need to be locked the fuck up. Her trifling ass. She got the nerve to open her fucking mouth. Okay, Kobe talking about numbers here, and I'm trying to listen, and your dumb ass trying to cover it up. You already know she's speaking truth to power when she get Clark buckethead ass to walk out. He done. Can't say shit, won't be shit. It look like she rapping. She ain't even paying no mind. Kobe over there on the mic, like. trying to stop everybody from hearing what she's saying. This is literally what she's doing. What the fuck is wrong with this demon? You can see how she looked demonic. Told y'all can see a spirit come out. Somebody start yelling, what the fuck are you yelling for? What are you yelling for? You don't even have the mic. They gave you your time and you can get your time afterwards. That's demon time right there. Do you see that when she started?
Why have you not arrested Jedediah Brown? Harvey cops don't follow the rules. Why should anybody know? Harvey cops don't follow the rules. Why should anybody follow?
Like, fuck it, I said what I said. We talk about numbers. I got it out. I gotta listen to it again. Whatever she said, we're gonna have to look at when we pay attention to these numbers. I'm gonna cut that part out. She said something very important. Whatever it is, it made Talani Smith talk about, you liar, you love them, whatever the fuck. And I please, Kobe, whatever you were trying to say, put it on your Facebook page like you did before, because I'm snapping pictures and I'm keeping records, because when it's time to go through Harvey shit, like we did Thornton and Dalton, we're going to expose the crook. And Talani, y'all let me know what organization she's over, because she sounds like a damn KP. Yeah.
The rules. Harvey cops don't follow the rules. Talani Smith needs attacked me. She's a criminal right there. There's a criminal. They're all sitting up there. That's why we have all the problems we have.
The bitch talking shit. I'm sorry. You see how the person's coming out? Then she talking stuff, literally. Yo, these people are emboldened in their wrongness. They all like Jedediah.
Why did your niece attack you, Talani Smith? Why did you answer that?
This one's smiling. That's not funny. I wouldn't even want to be caught up in no controversy like this. This bro is smiling. What the fuck is funny? This shit is ridiculous and disastrous.
Alderwoman Smith, you don't have an answer, do you? And they still have not arrested that man for violating my order. Are you going to do your job and arrest that man for violating that order of protection that I have? So you're not going to follow the law and do your job?
You're still talking. You know, when she's still talking, everybody with she lying.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Let's get it on.
The police got a Playboy bunny jet shirt on. Like, who wears that? The fuck?
So why did your niece assault and batter me, Talani Smith? So you don't have any answers?
Let's go.
You don't have any answers? No. Go arrest the criminal, Jedediah Brown. I'm not a criminal. He violated the order of protection.
Let's go.
Don't come after me. Go get him.
Let's go. Come at the door. Let's go. Come at the door. Let's go.
I am not the criminal.
You see how they let him be by the door and everything? He's not supposed to be by there while Ryan coming out. Right there, keep that clip right there, Ryan, because the police let him violate the order of protection. If he's going to be in the same room, even though I don't think that's good, or he's supposed to, bitch, you supposed to leave. Fuck you standing behind the door for, so you could hit him with the door and act like you ain't do the shit? Your lying ass, llama.
He's violating the order of protection, and you aren't doing your fucking job.
The door for.
How dare you get it? How
you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm? Thank God Ryan keep this shit on spin.
How dare you, Sergeant? You are not following the law.
He asked you to leave.
So you're refusing not to? Everybody here is my witness. Hey, everybody, put your eyes on this right now. That man is violating the order of protection, and Harvey police are letting him get away with it. So you don't care anything about the law. Got it. Got it on camera. Got it on camera. You guys are my witnesses. How do you expect people to obey the laws when you guys don't? That's ridiculous.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna stop there. I think Jedediah is skedaddled because I was watching a little bit. Wait, I just saw all his arm breathing.
He walked out the door while the police here were yelling at me and totally left him to do whatever he wants. That whole meeting was a fucking joke. Fucking joke. Look, they're not doing anything. They're just sitting there. Just sitting there.
They're supposed to tell him to leave. They should have told Jedediah to leave because they know of previous encounters and they know how bad it is.
And look, they're not in a hurry. They're just chilling in there. That's Ramona, who works for the mayor. You got the police officer.
A lot of people have red on their arms for some apparent reason. So I was trying to see if Mr. Man was staying around there trying to harass people. So that was a long meeting. I'm glad we were able to go through it and go into some details. I hope y'all like my commentary when it comes to the real estate and learning a little bit more about the tax lien process and how Harvey is making it tremendously hard for people to even invest. If you got to do all this shit and then get monitored by this motherfucking monster as being an investor, who the hell wants to come? That's literally Tiffany 2.0. So with that being said, I know I wanted to do the meeting. What I'm going to end up doing is reviewing the meeting myself. I'm going to cut up some stuff because I know it's some important stuff that we have to watch when it comes to the meeting. Maybe we missed, and we're going to replay it this weekend. So I'm going to watch that by myself, y'all, and do some editing. I want to say thank you for being here with Grace Levi on a chill Thursday. We're going to just, like I said, diversify the content. I got some other stuff to share with you. And I ain't going to tell y'all when I'm going to come back because I'll be telling y'all I'm coming back and shit. And then I go to bed. My ass be like, I sleep good to be single with no damn man. I'm just saying. Anyway, I love you guys. Shout out to Javar. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming back. Bella Marie, thank you for being here. Mr. LCT2, you, as well as my favorite fave there from day one, no matter what went on, if I was crying, whatever, talking too much. H. Spag, thank you so much. I appreciate you for being my day one. And Gravity Secret, thank you for being here tonight. I truly say, when I love y'all, God, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Love is good to share. So with that being said, we're going to put this up one more time because we're going to rag Jedediah to the core. And I want to say this before I play this clip. Every time I play this clip, it bothers me. I got to send love and blessing to Miss Beth. I want you to know that I'm not playing this clip out of disrespect for you. I'm playing the clip because everybody needs to continue to see the monster in action, what he was doing that day, how he disrespected you, how he attacked Ryan. So this was the best clip of him in action. So I want to say a heartfelt love and respect to you. My condolences to the loss of your husband shortly after this crazy incident. And that's what makes me feel away when I play it. But I'm going to keep playing it because we're going to have to get this motherfucker, excuse me, I sound like my grandma, the Haitian came out, straight out of the South Side. And this is why. Let's play it.
I want a police report. I don't care who started what. I want a police report to document this incident. This kind of shit, this is the shit he's pulling near my house. Trying to document, but not too close.
You white trash ass fucking fake
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass. Don't let my snitching fool you. I love a good jam. And I'm S.I.